Montana Tech going to kick off to open this game. Back to receive for the Mounties, number 1, Parker Robinson. He was an all-conference honorable mention last year on special teams. Back there also with him is number 83, Colton Kesey, returning here for the Mountaineers. And as we take a peek here, the Mounties going to be on offense. Montana Tech on the other side of the ball, off to a good start. Defensively, they are allowing about 326 yards per game, with a mix of 150 pass and 170 rush. So this is a strong defense, and this Montana Tech team, again, a really tough opening schedule and coming out 2-0, so they'll have some momentum coming into this game. Here's the kick. That one's going to go out of the back of the end zone, and the Mountaineers will take over after the touchback.
Yeah, Dawson, and like you mentioned, some continuity this year with the offense, a lot of returners, a lot of weapons here. That Glasper-Spurrie connection has already proved to be pretty dynamic this year, accounting for 3 touchdowns. Mountaineers offense seemed to start to get things going in the second half against Whitworth, outscoring the Pirates 19-0. So Mountie Nation will definitely be hopeful here that they can kind of ride some of that second half momentum into this game.
And the Mounties coming out in an empty set here. Glasper, the lone man in the backfield, trips to his right against this Montana Tech defense. And like you said, yeah, coming out of last week, scoring all 19 points of theirs in the second half, looking to keep that. Glasper steps up in the pocket, rolls to his right. He's going to get met by some defenders, and he's going to get some yards out of it. Looks like he might have gotten the first down before being pushed out of bounds. A nice scramble from Glasper.
Yeah, and we saw him do that a couple times last week against Whitworth. Specifically, I'm thinking of one drive where back-to-back fourth downs he scrambled for the first, really helping kind of extend the play and extend the drive for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, Glasper, a good athlete at quarterback, so wouldn't be surprised to see him run around a little bit more. There's the quick out route to Kesey on the sideline. He'll get it, and that's another, no, not a first down. It looks like they're going to mark him just short. Might have to measure it. It's really close. No, it's going to be about a yard short, so 2nd and 1 here after a 9-yard completion to Kesey on the quick out route. Glasper doing a great job there. Some pressure off the edge. Nobody touching him. He turned, fired, picked up 9 yards. Good recognition from Glasper to pick up the heat. He drops back, again, staying empty. Now over to Spurrie. He's got room. Makes the first guy miss. Stumbles. Still on his feet. He's going to keep going. That's going to be a first down. Spurrie gets it. And we've got some laundry on the field at the tail end of that play. 2 refs both throwing flags as they will meet and confer, see if everything lines up. The Mounties off to a good start. Surprisingly, must have seen something on tape that they liked coming out in this empty set. Really going quick hitter. And they're matching up well. I don't know if Montana Tech expected this. Go to the replay here, but going to these empty sets, getting the ball out of his hands quick. That's a quick hitch. The first one before that was a little Kesey out route, speed out. Again, Spurrie dangerous with the ball in his hands, so you know, if you can hit Spurrie on these quick hitters, little hitches, bubble screens, out, stuff like that, once you get the ball in his hands, he's the type of guy that can make magic happen with it. And so we're going to get a targeting call on the flag. And the Mounties marching down here early on the first drive of the game, just a minute in. Liking what we're seeing from EOU. And they're going to go to the replay here, as I think they're going to want to see the targeting call.
Yeah, Dawson, and this instant replay system is something that has been new to the Frontier Conference this season, allowing officials to go back and check plays.
Please report to the PA press box. Tim Sweet, please report to the PA press box. Thank you.
Yeah. As you said, this is a new thing this year, as now coaches have the ability to challenge, and this is a pretty big jump, actually, for NAIA football as we sit here and the refs take a look. But, yeah, this new system, right, so one, it introduces challenges. So coaches can challenge, they can call a timeout, they can go to the referees, and they can challenge any play, just like, you know, in the NFL or higher levels, D1 football. You see that a lot. So now that is at the NAIA level. They can challenge a play. Also, you can see how they're using it right now, targeting, things like that, and that's huge because a lot of those, it's a judgment call, it's quick, you can't take a second look in the moment, and so this gives the refs an opportunity to take a better look at the play, it's like, hey, was this targeting? Was he, leading with the crown of his helmet to the head, that kind of stuff. So we'll get a different look at that. And then also the new system gives coaches sideline access. So that's a new feature as well. As you can see, coaches on the sidelines will have tablets and they can check plays live in game. So this new system being introduced to the NAIA, definitely being utilized here early today in this Frontier Conference opener. And we're going to step away for just a moment as the refs take a deeper look at this. So there's the call. They go, and that's what the replay system is for. There's no penalty, no targeting. And that's targeting is a huge one, too, because there's an ejection tied in with that. So the fact that you can go in, hey, it's not targeting, it's a legal hit. Player does not get ejected, no penalty. And I think that's probably the biggest benefit of the system is targeting plays, honestly, in my opinion, James.
Absolutely, and that's a huge blow. You lose one of your starting players on defense for the rest of the game. This thing just got started, so a little bit of a break there for the Diggers.
And the Mounties don't let the quick break in the action slow him down. There's the give to Macmillan. He takes it, knifes up the middle, and picks up 9-10 yards. That's going to be a first down. Mounties marching, looking great here offensively. Again, still saying spread out. Now a pistol look, a little bunch trips to the right here for Glasper, and there's a jump at right tackle. That's going to be a false start. Looks like, I believe that was Lucas Shepard at right tackle jumping early. So the Mounties going to have to bring this one back and start at a little bit of a disadvantage. Be first and 15 now for Eastern Oregon after the false start. Again, Shepard at right tackle there. The Mounties O-line has some familiar faces this season. There's the quick out again to Kesey. It looks like he'll pick up about 8 or 9 yards. Nice quick hit there. And again, the Mounties looking great. Really just taking what the defense gives them. They're sagging off, hitting those quick hit and speed outs, things like that. And this offense looking really sharp here early.
Absolutely. Good job by the wide receivers making themselves available. Glasper able to get it out of his hands quickly.
Yeah, there's the read option look out of the pistol. And that's one of the great things about that pistol offense, that pistol formation with the back directly behind you, still taking like a shotgun snap, but it allows you to be a little more versatile, lets the running back get downhill, and you can run some really good read option looks out of it as the Mounties just have. And the Mounties now sitting here about 3rd and 5. First third down of the drive. The Mounties have struggled a little bit on third down this season. Glasper waiting, and there's a penalty. It looks like it's going to be a false start on Kesey. And it was, I believe, Kesey. Who is it over there? Is that Angel Sanchez on Kesey? They kind of were going back and forth there. That one's going to go against Kesey, and the Mounties are going to bring this one 5 yards back. It'll make it 3rd and 9, it looks like.
3rd down.
Glasper looking good here on this drive. 3 of 3 so far. He's going to drop back. He's got a nice pocket, steps up. He's going to scramble to his left. He's going to pull this one down and take it himself. Slides at the 26-yard line. They're going to mark him well short of a first down.
Yeah, and 2 costly penalties, that last possession. You're looking at a 3rd and 4, second offsides penalty of the drive. All of a sudden goes to a 3rd and 9, and you're just short.
Yeah, you talk about drive killers. That's one of those things. 2 penalties like that, especially after moving the ball so well. Mounties going for it on 4th down. There's the quick hitter, Malachi Spurrie. Ball bobbles a little bit, but he hauls it in. It looks like he's going to get it just ahead of the sticks, it looks like, just to be safe. There it is. It's a first down. The Mounties complete the pass and convert on 4th down. Really going no huddle, quick looks here. Things going very well for this Mountaineer offense early, even after 2 costly flags. A lot of momentum on Eastern side right now to open this game. 11.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Macmillan behind Glasper, pistol look. And there's the pin and pull, the toss to the right. Not a lot of running room there. As Macmillan sticks it up there for a yard. First man there for Montana Tech. I believe that was Cole Wyant.
Going back to that last 4th down conversion, I like this approach from the Mountaineers, staying aggressive here in this first drive. You're playing the number 12 team in the country. You got to convert on these opportunities when you have it on their side of the field.
Glasper. Tight end to his left. There's the fake and the quick pass out to Sweek at tight end. Picks up about 3 yards, another quick out. And Mounties' game plan, pretty obvious here. A lot of hitches, speed outs. And again, this defense, they must have seen something on film, knowing that they're going to get some space. these coverages playing padded, giving them a lot of room off the line. Mounties taking advantage of it here early. Look at Spurrie here on the slot in the trips to Glasper's right. Here's the drop back. A little underneath route. Glasper drops back. Got some time. He's going to fire to the end zone. He's got a man, and it's dropped. Jonah Blackham on the deep crossing route, it looked like. Go to the replay here. He had the wheel and a deep cross out of the backfield. Glasper doing a good job making some room, and a beautiful ball. It was there, and just right through the hands of Jonah Blackham. That one hurts. Blackham did a good job getting behind the coverage on the crossing route. And that's what can happen. You got a lot of time there. Glasper dropping back, making the play a little bit longer, extending it. It's really tough for coverages to pass guys off like that on a deep crossing route, and it was there, just couldn't haul it in. So 4th down again, the Mounties, no hesitation going for it. Glasper out of the empty set. There's the pass, takes a big hit, incomplete. And this first drive will come to a halt. As it looks like it's Colton Kesey taking a big hit on the back end of that one. Go to the replay. Couldn't hold on to it. I'm not sure if that would have been a first down. It would have been close. But that'll be it for the first drive of the game. Just over 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break and be right back on the Mounties. So Montana Tech coming now on offense. They get a quick completion here to start off this drive as we get back to the action on the Mountie Sports Network. Huge shout out to Gib Pollard, the man behind the scenes running our great stream, all the replays, all the best action coming to you on the Mountie Sports Network. And a big part coming from Mr. Pollard behind us here as that carry goes nowhere. The quick handoff to Landers Smith, the big senior out of Charlotte, Montana. So 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 here, James. The Ore Diggers coming out with a heavy set. Just still pretty big size advantage, especially up front here as you look at that O-line, a big physical offense here. And again, this Ore Digger offense, very balanced. They're pretty even in the run game and the pass game as you look at their offense this year. Look at this super heavy set here. You got 2 tight ends, everybody in tight. Here's the snap, the pull, the sweep outside, gets in. Sticks his foot in the ground, get up the field, and that one will be a first down again. The carry by the big man, Landers Smith.
Yeah, and you talked about the size differential. You can see it down there on the field, and good push there by the Ore Diggers offensive line, able to just force that thing across the first down yardage.
And you look at those scores of those games, too, that they've played, and that's a huge part of it in the way Montana Tech plays. If you can control the ball, control time of possession with a strong run game, and then here's the deep pass from Thelen down the middle. It's there, and some good coverage, but it's hauled in. No, ball's loose. There's a scramble for it. Are they going to call it down? They're going to say he's down. This might be a chance for a challenge here. It'll be interesting to see as both players still struggling for it. The refs blowed it, so they blowed it dead. This is called down. Be interesting to see if we have a challenge here. Montana Tech hurrying up to the line here. Again, not giving him time. Look at the replay. Pass from Thelen. Hauled in. Some good coverage, too. And I would say that's controlled down. I think that's a good call by the refs there.
There's a Lincoln Clark in the stands. Please come up to the press box.
As there's a timeout, so it looks like have to assume that this is going to be a challenge. Again, looking at this, we talk about this Montana Tech team. This is a veteran team, too, at quarterback. Blake Thelen, he's been there, a senior. He's been running this offense for multiple years. Good grasp on things. Go down the field. So this will be challenged, it looks like. And as we saw the replay earlier, again, it looks like he was down, but the refs will go in, take another look. And with that, we will step away for a moment and be right back after this quick break on the Mountie Sports Network. So we've got the 2-0 Montana Tech Ore Diggers taking on the 0-2 Eastern Oregon University Mountaineers at home here in Community Stadium in beautiful La Grande, Oregon. Blue skies, beautiful day for some football. As we're waiting, you can see the booth there as the referees now taking a look at the play. Again, there was a long pass completed from Thelen downfield. Some excellent coverage. Juan Avalos was there, outstretched arm. We go to the replay again, and you look, and again, we talked about it, the play action, defense gets sucked in. You look at the defensive backs coming up and then scrambling back, realizing it's play action. the deep pass, and just a beautifully thrown ball as well. Hauled in. Again, good coverage by Avalos, but an even better catch by Wyatt Alexander.
Absolutely, and just a well-placed ball. Not much you can do if you're Juan Avalos other than, take him to the ground after that one. You're in perfect position. Are able to force what could be a fumble. We're going to find out here from the refs, but also looks like it definitely could have been the ground that jarred it loose after.
Yeah, it looked like he had decent control of it coming down with it. As the refs making their way back to the field, we'll see what the call is.
The ruling on the field stands.
So the ruling on the field stands. Eastern Oregon loses the challenge. As we said, it did look like that was the right call. He had great control of it. Again, that was a heck of a grab by the senior from Whitehall, Montana, Wyatt Alexander.
Ball's up at 21. First and 10 for Montana Tech.
Again, Coach Camp probably not too happy with the call. But that's the beauty of the replay system, right? The technology now, it's you have the proof, or you should have the proof in footage now. So we get back to it again. Montana Tech staying with these heavy sets. A bit of an empty look here with the H-back in front of Thelen again. Good use. That's Lander Smith, the big man. We've seen him carry the rock a few times. Here's the motion, the snap, and the jet sweep. Coming around the end and getting a few yards before the Mountie defenders take him down. I believe that was Levi Torgerson around the edge.
Levi Torgerson, the ball carrier.
Yeah, able to gain 1 yard there, but good job by the Mounties defense, able to swarm to the ball and get him down.
And the Mountie defense was doing well, holding them, and then that play action, the deep pass, really kind of sticking a knife in the Mounties on this drive. Here's Thelen motioning across his receiver again. I think that's Alexander. There's the give. And a good defensive play. Nowhere to go. As Smith took a shot just past the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 3rd and about 8 here for the Ore Diggers.
Big play here for the Mountaineers. Trying to limit them to, potentially a field goal attempt if they are able to stop them on this 3rd down attempt. We saw the Ore Diggers convert one earlier.
So far, Montana Tech on a good drive, marching their way. Here's the play action on the jet sweep. The shot to the end zone, back shoulder, not there. Great coverage again from the Mountie defense. I think that was Peyton Howe at defensive back, a former Carroll College Saint, joined the Mountaineers last year. Obviously had to sit out a season because it's the same conference transfer. Making his mark here in today's game. Some great coverage, and Montana Tech looks like they're going to send out the field goal unit. So Mounties defense, a good defensive stand there, honestly. That whole drive, obviously you don't give up that big play, you're probably forcing the punt. But holding him to a field goal in this situation, not an easy field goal either. Here's the attempt from deep. There's the kick. And end over end through the uprights for 3. So the first score is on the board. Montana Tech strikes with the field goal. That kick is good. Make it 3-0. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We'll step away for just a moment. Be right back. Just over 6.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Montana Tech marches down, gets the field goal as the Mountie defense holds down near the red zone, not quite in the red zone. As there's a 36-yard field goal from Dylan Root for Montana Tech, punching it through for 3. And you got to think, if you're the Mounties, you've seen a lot of good things here. A good defensive drive, you hold them to the field goal, you take away that big play. And honestly, yeah, the play action worked. You sucked up the safeties. You hit them over top. Not a whole lot you can do there, though. Juan Avalos was playing excellent coverage. Almost got a hand on it. They make a great play. Sometimes you just got to eat those ones. But then offensively, they had a good drive and came up short down in the red zone on 4th down. But they were marching the ball down the field. So right now, the Mountaineers, who have struggled out of the gates early this season, have looked good in this first quarter at home here in Community Stadium, James.
Yeah, absolutely, Dawson. And as a guy with some playing experience, being around the game at the college level, Eastern Oregon able to hit a lot of those quick routes early in that first drive. It's the kickoff.
Back to Robinson, goes out of bounds, should get a flag here. There it is. So the Mounties going to get a little boost in field position to start the drive. But, yeah, as you're saying, James, you talk about those quick hitters. That can do wonders for the confidence of the offense. And then, too, if you got playmakers, just get the ball in their hands. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to take these shots down the field that are a lot harder to convert. If the defense is giving that to you and you can get guys like Malachi, Spurrie, or Parker Robinson, Colton Kesey, get these guys in space, the ball in their hands, give them a chance to make a play, good things are going to happen. And that's what the Mounties did on the first drive. If they can keep doing that, I think they'll keep having success. And then you talk about the confidence aspect of that. As a quarterback, just completion. That feels great. And then when you take that shot down the field, you're going to have the confidence to put the ball where you want it. And we saw that. I mean, the Mounties missed a touchdown. It was there. Blackham just not able to haul it in, but they had a great look at it. So we'll see how this drive goes. The Mounties coming out in that pistol look, trips to Glasper's left. Here's the snap. We got a pass on first down, looking to his left, and inside to Camp, hauls it in. Tough catch. As I think the linebacker there, that was Cole Wyant, might have gotten his finger on it. Camp, some excellent concentration, pulls it in, picks up the first down. And Glasper, I'm more impressed by that ball there as the linebacker, Wyant, was right in the right spot, and Glasper threw him open right behind the coverage. Great play there as the Mounties pick up the first down on the first play of this second drive. Here's the run now. Macmillan met immediately, and he's going to lose a yard or two on this one.
Absolutely, and that, like you said, Dawson, that was a great throw by Glasper, trusting that Camp was going to work his way into that gap and get open. And they also connected for a touchdown last weekend against the Whitworth Pirates, so good thing building there between Camp and Glasper.
Here's the pass on second down. That one pulled in for about 5 yards by Walker Camp as the Mounties cross midfield here. 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
So we saw the one kind of deep attempt in the back of the end zone. With all these short routes, you got to think Montana Tech's going to start trying to play up a little bit, take those away like we saw on the fourth down conversion, knocking the ball loose from Spurrier's hands. Maybe a couple opportunities to go deep here.
Maybe. Glasper scrambling, nowhere to go. He is going way back. He's going to have to get rid of it. Throws that one. Oh, he's got Spurrier. Catches it inbounds. First down. A little bit of a circus play there. Glasper finds his man Spurrier. He was running in circles in the backfield. We go to the replay. I thought he was going to trip at one point. Steps up and then fires. I thought he was just going to launch it out of bounds and call it what it was. But no, finds Spurrier after the circus play. A little bit Johnny Manziel-like, scrumming around and making plays. Glasper picking up the first down to Spurrier there. Here's the snap and another quick pass on the out. There it is, and this Mountie offense keeps marching. Looking good here. A couple of scramble plays, too. That was a little bit similar. I mean, not quite as much of a scramble when the Mounties took that shot at the touchdown earlier, trying to find Blackham on the deep crosser. But same things, Spurrier extending the play. And again, when you have defensive backs trying to stay in coverage like that, especially if it's man coverage, it's so hard to stick with the receiver for that long, and that's what happens. Or zone like that, that's where guys get lost, and that's what happens. Spurrier finding a gap in the defense. Here we go, 2nd and 6 as the Mounties continue marching over to Parker Robinson. Get another gain, another quick hitter, little hitch route. This Mountie offense firing on all cylinders. 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable for sure here, about 3 yards to go. Mounties knocking on the door here. They're now in the red zone on the 20-yard line. Glasper takes snap. Macmillan to his right. A doubles look. 2 receivers to each side. Drops back. Throws the ball. Spurrier has some space. Touchdown, Mountaineers.
Wow, and Glasper finds Spurrier again. We saw a couple times on that first drive, obviously, the big play there on the sideline earlier. And once again for the touchdown. That's the 4th touchdown of the year for Malachi Spurrier, last year's first-team all-conference selection.
Great route. Gets by his guy, a little bit of a rub route. Gets some space, and then Glasper just feathers it in there. A beautiful ball. The perfect amount of touch. I mean, you saw that. It was just a little bit of a lob right over. Easy to haul in. Great play for the Mounties, and they take the lead here over number 12, Montana Tech. Make it 6-3, hopefully 7-3. No. That's in the field goal or the PAT. No good. I don't know if somebody got a hand on it. Came out weird off the foot of Shattuck. Either way, the Mounties up 6-3 here in Community Stadium as we near the end of the first quarter. We'll be right back on the Mounties Sports Network. So we were just talking about it here during that break, but this Mountain offense looks light years better here today, and we talked about it. The offense moving the ball, these quick hitters, they look confident. Glasper looking very confident. I mean, every throw has been on the money today, and again, talk about just the aspect of getting a few completions early and then feeding that. And again, you talked about it, like when you hit those quick hitters, the defense has to come up, right? They can't continuously just, get cut, death by 1,000 cuts, right? You can't just continuously get those hitches, speed outs, 5 to 10 yards a whack. Eventually somebody breaks one, and so they come up, and that's what you get, right? They come up, they press, they're in the red zone too, and you get a little bit of a rub route. Spurrier comes open, and just beautiful execution as the Mounties take the lead here late in this first quarter. This Mountaineers team looking great here in Week 3 in the Frontier Conference opener for these two teams.
Yeah, and credit to Glasper, converting 11 of 13 attempts so far. That's 84% of his passes for 106 yards and 1 touchdown. Really just controlling this game so far in the pocket, delivering on those quick ones, and then striking when able to out down the field.
Here's the kickoff. Lands at the 20 and then bounces to the side and out of bounds as Montana Tech smartly lets that one take its hop out of bounds. I believe that was JoJo Wallace there back to return. Makes a good decision, and so Oregon Tech going to start off with an extra 5 yards extra 10 yards of field position, I believe. Again, this Mounties team.
Number 86. Ball's placed at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10.
So yes, Montana Tech will get the 10-yard boost on field position, taken over at the 35 here to start this drive, 6-3. And again, the Mounties, you talk about it, just spreading the ball around, quick hitters, and kind of act as a run game in its own when you're really hitting those quick little hitches, speed outs, bubbles, stuff like that, moving the ball. Offense looked great. Now Montana Tech going to get a chance to answer as they found points on their first drive with a field goal after a long completion. There's the handoff to the number 1 back. Again, that's Lander Smith taking it for about 3 yards. Make it 2nd and 7 for Montana Tech. Thelen, again, leading this offense. And it looks like we'll have an injury timeout. Hopefully nothing too serious, but we'll step away for just a moment here on the Mountie Sports Network. So the Mountaineer getting up and making his way off the field under his own power. I believe that's Jonas Waugh, number 53. Good to see him walking off on his own power. A little bit of a limp, so probably a leg injury. And hoping for nothing but good news for Waugh.
2nd down.
Waugh, a senior out of Puyallup, Washington. So back to the action. Montana Tech coming out. Again, double set, 1 tight end, 11 personnel. Smith in the backfield with Thelen. Takes the snap, he's going to pass. There's the shot downfield, and again, great coverage, and a late flag. I have a feeling this one is to be coming from the other side. Avalos on the coverage did a great job, batted it away, but I believe that was Beasley coming in late, making the contact. We might get a targeting call here. Go to the replay. And there it is, the late hit. And you hear people shouting, he touched the ball. That does not matter on a targeting call. As if you lead with the head and hit the, and it was not a targeting call.
Pass interference. So does that change anything, Dawson?
That does change something. If they touch the ball, it's not pass interference. If contact is made after they touch the ball, obviously. And that was obviously tight call. Looked like pretty good coverage on Avalos' part as he came around. But it's really tough to make that play and not have any contact. So I understand where you're coming from. But Montana Tech going to get a free first down out of it. Montana Tech again showing that heavy look. Some big bodies, a tight formation out of the gun. Thelen takes his snap. And there's the play action. Quick dump off, a little screen to the tight end. Heading downfield and picking up some good yardage was Logan Kennedy on the receiving end of that pass. Go to the replay here. Nice little tunnel screen to the tight end after the play action. Some good play calling from Montana Tech.
Nice little juke there, able to slip by Peyton Howe, pick up the first down.
Again, you're seeing two completely different offensive approaches between these two teams, Montana Tech and Eastern Oregon. Eastern Oregon coming out with empty, spreading everything out, and then, again, Montana Tech coming out in these heavy sets, and big man with some room to run. Smith rumbling down the sideline, gets down to the 12 or 13-yard line. Nice run from Smith on the little stretch run here as you look. Just a little good old-fashioned pin and pull around the edge. Smith with a big run. Picks up 22 yards on the carry. Hayden Patterson on the tackle for the Mountaineers. Again, Montana Tech staying with this heavy set, having a lot of success, just pounding the rock and then utilizing play action right now. Here's another give to Smith. Nice run, spinning, gets another extra yard out of that. Gets down to the 10, maybe 11-yard line. Picks about 5 on the carry. 2nd and 5 now for the Ore Diggers.
2nd down.
Smith having a good game, averaging over 7 yards a carry right now. In large part thanks to that big run a couple plays ago. 5 rushes for 36 yards on the day. Thelen motions one of his tight ends across. Here's another one. No play action, goes to the end zone. Wide open, touchdown, Ore Diggers.
Field pass complete. The Wyatt Alexander touchdown. Montana Tech.
So we talked about Eastern Oregon kind of setting things up with those shallow passes and then attacking long. Montana Tech having some success running the ball. End up, tricking the Eastern Oregon defense with the play action, connecting on the touchdown there.
Wyant Alexander having a big day here. Caught the long pass earlier that set up the field goal and then gets wide open on the play action. The Mountie defense selling out hard on the run. Picks up the touchdown and the Ore Diggers go ahead. Here's the PAT attempt. Punched through the uprights and good. Dylan Root adds one more, make it 6-10. The Mounties trail by 4 with a minute left to go here in the first quarter. You're watching the Mountie Sports Network. Back on the Mountie Sports Network, Montana Tech strikes, makes it 6-10. Minute to go here in the first quarter. The strike on that last one from Blake Thelen to Wyatt Alexander, a 10-yard touchdown pass to put Montana Tech up. Now, kicking off for the Ore Diggers is Ryder Baranowski. Montana Tech showing a little bit of a stack look on the kickoff. Here's the kickoff. It's going to be brought back by Parker Robinson. Going to his left, a little bit of space. He finds a seam. There's some contact and makes it out to the 31-yard line. Nice return from Parker Robinson to get the Mounties set up, ready to go on this drive here with 55 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, strong run by Robinson, returning it there. Some good blocking by the Mountaineers, and then able to run over the Ore Digger there at the 30-yard line, get a couple more.
So again, this Mountie offense comes back onto the field. Had a lot of success so far. Haven't talked about the offensive line. This Mountie offensive line, a little bit revamped. They've added some bodies, but you got some familiar names like Tanner Nett and James Gray returning. Some big impact players. Nett, an All-American in track, and a big body playing left tackle today. Here's the run from Macmillan. Gets about 2 yards on the carry. He's met by a wall of Montana Tech defenders led by Trey Yates on that defensive line. But we talked about Tanner Nett, big body, strong, one of the leaders on this offensive line. You got James Gray, who got some all-conference recognition as well, playing center for the Mounties. There's the toss outside to Macmillan. Nowhere to go. Maybe gets a yard out of it. Make it 3rd and 7 here for the Mountaineer offense. So Mounties not a lot of success on the ground here today. And here's trips to Glasper's right. Spreading things out again. 2 high safeties. Might be a little cover 4 here as the defenders all sagging off. And that horn will mark the end of the first quarter. Your score here in Community Stadium. Montana Tech 10. Eastern Oregon 6. We'll step away for a moment and be right back with more action on the Mountie Sports Network. 1 quarter down on the Mountie Sports Network. Number 12, nationally ranked Montana Tech currently leads the Mountaineers 10-6 here in Community Stadium, home of the Eastern Oregon University Mountaineers. Beautiful day here in La Grande, Oregon. Blue skies, some good weather. Great day for football as we open Frontier Conference play here in Eastern Oregon. Glasper out of the empty set. There it is, and that one's jumped and picked off, going to the house. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Diggers. That's DeMario King. And again, you asked about it, James. You're throwing those quick outs, and sometimes that is a risk you run if it becomes too predictable and somebody comes flying up like that and you're making quick decisions. And that's just a great read as you go to the replay here. Jumping it and taking it right out of the hands of Colton Kesey, the intended receiver, up the sideline. And when you have a head of steam like that and you jump a pass like that, I mean, there's no one going to catch you going the other way.
Absolutely, and Glasper so efficient so far to this point. Only 3 incompletions. One of them, we saw that 4th down attempt. Montana Tech player flying in and breaking the ball up in that one. Another Digger in King making just a great play on the ball and getting the pick 6 there.
So Root continues a perfect day, punches through the PAT, his second PAT of the day, made a field goal for the first score of the game, and now Eastern Oregon falls behind by 11, 17-6 after the pick 6 from DeMario King. Some great anticipation. And this number 12 ranked team here, Montana Tech, kind of showing why. And again, EOU has come out, they've looked strong, but it's just been big plays like that. You had the big reception that leads to the field goal. You have a big run, and then a good play action leads to a score for the second score for Montana Tech. And then obviously the pick 6 there, some good anticipation. And the Mounties just trying to do what they've been doing and have had a lot of success doing in the first quarter. And hats off to Montana Tech, realizing that, adjusting their coverage. And, that's one of those things, too. And we talk about the replay system. You can pull that up on the iPad and be like, okay, they're hitting this speed out. They align in this formation. Look for this. Especially, you look at tendencies, some of that stuff, too. And that might have been in the back in the mind of DeMario King there. Is he saw that speed out coming, jumped it, made an excellent play, and obviously it pays off.
Absolutely, Dawson. And, I mean, you mentioned it. This Montana Tech team is number 12 in the country, and that's what good teams do is they make adjustments and take things away. Obviously, Eastern Oregon's had the success so far on these short routes, but good adjustment there by the Diggers. So now the question is, how do the Mountaineers adjust now and kind of change what they're doing or keep with it, but really just kind of focus, okay, we had the bad play there on offense, but we're going to get the ball right back. What are we going to do on this drive here?
Mounties looking to recapture some of that magic they had in the first quarter. The first few drives looking great. And again, we talk about Glasper. I mean, yeah, the pick 6 there. It's a great play. Hats off to the defense, but he's 11 of 14. He's had a great day so far, over 100 yards with a touchdown. See if he can keep things going and kind of clear his head after the interception. Here's the kickoff, kicking off for the Diggers, Ryder Baranowski. This one downfield right down the middle, going to be hauled in by Colton Kesey. He's going to take it to his right and gets tripped up just past the 20-yard line, gets out to the 21. Looks like he hit his own guy. This Montana Tech doing a good job on the kickoff coverage.
Picked up by Dylan Graham. Ball's at the 22. 1st and 10, Mountaineers.
So 1st and 10 Mountaineers, 17-6. Mounties currently trailing by 11. The Mountie offense coming back on after that last pick 6. Glasper with Macmillan in the backfield. Pistol look, doubles. 2 receivers. There's the motion out from the tailback. Quick pass underneath to Spurrier. Good job coming back to the ball, but he's got nowhere to go. Great defense. And that was Matt Whitcomb latching on to Spurrier and hauling him down. Short 3-yard gain on the pass for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, just a couple of yards there, but I like that out of the Mountaineers, getting the ball into Spurrier's hands. Good things normally happen when you do that. At least they have so far this season for the Mounties.
Glasper drops back, looking to his left, steps up. He's going to take it himself. Runs out to his right. He's got a little bit of room. Gets up the sideline. Gets across the 40-yard line. And we do have a flag. Might be some holding there as he was coming around the edge. Saw some bodies hit the ground. And sometimes you see that like awkward angle here. You watch. 22 right there, I'm assuming. You see the hands go up. That's never a good sign. And this one looks like it's going to be coming back, as I believe that was Macmillan.
Number 22 on the offense. 10-yard penalty for the start of the foul. Second down.
Yeah, Macmillan trying to seal the edge there. Couldn't quite get the leverage he needed, latched on, and as soon as you throw the hands up, that's kind of the first signal that you're guilty a lot of times.
After the penalty, it'll be second down.
So it wipes out the long run, but still second and about 3 yards here for the Mountaineers. Glasper in the backfield. One tight end, that's Sweek to his right. Glasper barking at the receivers to his left. A little bit of a miscommunication. Need to realign. Spurrier coming in, running back out, zigzagging. And the Mounties probably going to have to burn a timeout here. And that's Coach Leon Ladeau very upset right now. The new offensive coordinator, first-year OC here for the Mountaineers, came from the College of Idaho. Before that, coached at Central Washington. Going to have some words for the team. Obviously, some alignment issues there. You can't run a play if people aren't in the right spots. Frustration's boiling over. We'll step away for just a moment. Be right back on the Mountie Sports Network. Mountaineers sitting 2nd and 3. A little bit of miscommunication. They have to burn a timeout here early in the second quarter. They have one left now. They lost a challenge as well, so that cost them a timeout. 17-6, 11-point ball game. Here's the motion. Blackham coming across. Trips to Glasper's right. The play action, drops back, has a moment. He's going to take a deep shot, a high arcing pass, and it's going to be too far for Spurrier. Some great coverage. Angel Sanchez side by side with Spurrier, who runs very well. There was not much there, and Glasper taking the shot, looking for the deep ball.
Angel Sanchez on coverage.
So 3rd and 3, and that's, not a surprise to see you take a shot. 2nd and short, you've got 3rd and potentially 4th down. I mean, in your own territory, probably looking to punt here. But, you got 3rd down, 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable, something you can get. Why not take a shot, see if the defense is going to press? Here it is. Here's the give to Macmillan. Gets upfield. The Grande native looks like he's going to pick up the first down. Gets out to the 36-yard line. First down, Macmillan. Brown on the tackle for the Ore Diggers. The Mounties wasting no time, getting right back to it. Montana Tech bringing the pressure. There's the screen out to Kesey. Nice pickup. He'll get about 8 to 9 yards, maybe even 10. They are going to say it is 10 yards. That's a first down. Nice pass. The Mounties pushing the ball down the field again.
1st and 10, Mountaineers.
Yeah, and the recipe so far for the Mounties has just been getting the ball out of Glasper's hands. We saw the Ore Diggers bring a little bit of pressure off of the right side that time, but able to get it out to Kesey and let your playmakers make some plays.
There's the run. Looks like the Mounties will get about 3 yards on the carry to Macmillan. Montana Tech. Wall of defenders there to make the stop. Looks like the first one there was DJ Brown, the big man inside for the Ore Diggers.
2nd down.
Again, the Mounties really pushing the pace here. Glasper takes the snap, pistol, doubles look. There's a little mesh concept. The pass outside. Macmillan sheds the tackle, picks up a few extra yards, and another first down. Macmillan doing a good job out of the backfield on a little wheel route. And that right there, that's just a classic mesh look. You got your 2 inside receivers mesh. Your running back running the wheel out of the backfield. A lot of times you cause that chaos in the middle. It opens up and worked out perfectly for the Mounties. Glasper dropping back, has some time, scrambles to his left. Nothing there. He's going to take it himself. Picks up a few yards. Ball's loose on the sideline. I believe he was out of bounds. Glasper hopping up and making his way back. A little bit of commotion on the sideline over there.
Yeah, and it's so dangerous when you have a quarterback that can scramble like that, pick up some yards, kind of get you out of some tough spots. We've seen him scramble a little bit in the backfield, and I think even that play down the sideline to Spurrier earlier, you have just defenders down the field wondering, is he going to run? Is he going to take off? You kind of have your eye on him, and then some other things open up as well.
Another completion. Walker Camp on the hitch.
Pass is complete to Walker Camp.
Now he's still moving the ball here. You got 3rd and 4, it looks like. Scratch that, make it 3rd and 3. So again, Mounty's doing a good job. And they've gotten to 3rd downs, but the good thing today that they haven't necessarily done is they haven't had manageable 3rd downs in a lot of situations, but these 3rd and 3s are good. Here's the shot deep, back shoulder. Spurrie can't haul it in. It was there, hit him, and I think, the corner there, I think that was McNeil. Jaden McNeil got a hand in there. Couldn't tell. I mean, good ball, and I like the idea. Glasper, the defender, has his back towards you, man coverage. Throw that back shoulder. McNeil doing a good job recognizing and sneaking a hand in there. I think he punched it out. But good look for Eastern. They're going to go for it here again on 4th and about 3. Mounties have had some success here so far. On 3rd and 4th down, they're 1 of 2 on 4th down, 3 of 7 on 3rd down. But in this side of the field, this is the perfect time to go for it. Here it is, the snap. Glasper looks to his right. It might be a draw. It is. He's got plenty of room. First down, Mountaineers. Glasper takes a big hit. And we've got a late flag coming in. Glasper sprawled out. I was a little bit concerned there early. I think he was just playing, though.
Yeah, I think it's a great sell job there by Glasper, just throwing the hands on the ground. Flag comes out, he pops right up.
On time, like clockwork. It'll be interesting to see here as the refs congregate in the middle. And if you're a ref and you see him pop up like that right after, you have to second-guess the call, right, James?
Yeah, a little bit, but that's just Glasper. He's been around a little while, played a couple years now. That's a pro move right there.
A veteran move, for sure. Let's see what the call is. And I think that's going to be unnecessary roughness against Montana Tech. So Glasper takes a hit. And not that it was, he might have gotten a little bit extra because he played into it a little bit, but he was sliding going down, and you get a late hit to the upper half of the body anywhere in the shoulder head area, you're going to get a flag 9 times out of 10. Gets it there, and Glasper picking up the 4th down. The Mounties now 2 for 3 on 4th down conversions. Again, this offense clicking. Some good play calling here. This Mountie offense looking good. The trips and the motion across. Spurrier to the right. Glasper taking the snap. Looking to his right, nothing there. There's the screen to the left. Macmillan cuts back up. He's got a room to run and gets to the 2-yard line. And a great job on the screen. Glasper doing a good job. Eyes go to the right, and then right underneath, the defense comes upfield. And if you're a guy on the defensive line, you see that wall of those guys coming up. And when you get through that easily, I think everybody starts looking at each other like, oh, no, it's coming over your head for the screen. And there it was. And the Mounties pushing it. Here's the handoff to Macmillan, and Montana Tech does a great job stuffing it. Again, EOU pushing the pace here. A lot of no huddle. Snapping the ball early in the clock here.
Yeah, and he's not able to punch it in that time, but they've really gotten Macmillan involved this drive. A couple of good runs, also 2 passes or receptions for Macmillan now. We just saw the screen pass. He's up to 17 receiving yards here in this first half.
31.
And I believe that was Trey Yates on the stop there. First man there for the Ortiggers on that last run. And you look at the Mountie offense. They're going heavy. You got double tight end, the extra lineman in there, and you got Waylon Rydell, the big man in the backfield. Here it is, the give to the big man. He is met at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. Good defense. Montana Tech stops it. And again, the Mounties actually in a really good spot here. You're sitting, I think he gets back to the line of scrimmage. You're sitting about 3rd and 1 right now, 4th and 1 now here on the goal line. You can get the first down. If you can get a yard here, get the first down, get 4 fresh downs on the 3-yard line. I don't know a coach that wouldn't love that situation. But it all comes down to this. If Montana Tech can get the stop, 4th and 1.
Yeah, and you just got to get 1 yard. We've seen Glasper scramble a couple times now on 4th down, run it himself.
Going to his right, nowhere to go. Has to throw it to the back. And ball's loose. It is hauled in, but they're going to say it's incomplete. I think it was Kesey there, caught it. The ball was being batted around, and the play falls apart. Again, a little rollout as we go to the replay here. Glasper rolls out, ball's loose, it's tipped up. And, yeah, right there. Shout out to Gip Pollard for stopping it on the money. You see it bounce. Great effort from Kesey. Trying to do everything he can to haul that one in, but it's not enough. And for the Mounties, a great drive falls just short on the 3-yard line here. So Montana Tech, 8.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. They got a lot of field to work with here. We'll see here. If you're a defensive coordinator, I always find this to be the most fascinating position. I mean, if you're on offense, you're trying to just pound the ball, get yourself some breathing room. If you're a defensive coordinator, it's like, hey, do you send the heat, try and catch them in the backfield, maybe come up with a safety, something like that, at the risk of something going over your head for a huge play? Here's the run to Smith, the big man up the middle. And if you're Montana Tech and you got a guy that's that physical of a runner, it's always a safe play down in this area of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen so far in this game, Montana Tech just having the ability with those guys up front to really push downfield and just march it a little bit. Don't think there's really any need to take any risks this close to your own end zone. Just kind of force it up there and try and get this first down, get a little bit of space for yourself.
Thelen to take the snap. Smith in the backfield. There's another give to him. He's got a little bit of room. And he'll pick up another 5 yards. It looks like 6 yards. That'll be a first down for the Oredigers. And Smith, he's a big body for a running back, but you watch that last run. He does a really good job of getting his pad level low. And when you got somebody that's that strong, that powerful, running low, I mean, the old saying, low man wins. Low man and mass wins. Bigger body and you're lower, good luck stopping that. Physical guy, and he's the type of guy that can wear a defense down. We've seen that from Montana Tech this whole season. Obviously, they've had a lot of success running the ball as well. And he's a guy, he's a big guy, but he moves well. We saw the 22-yard carry outside, actually on this part of the field here in the first quarter. There's the turn and the give again. He's going to bounce out, nothing there. Good job from the Mountie defense, stifling the run.
Smith, the ball carrier.
Gang of Mounties on the tackle. Looked like Jonas Waugh.
Second down.
Max Prazer in on the tackle. A few defensive linemen as well. A little group effort from the Mounties. Montana Tech bringing in some new bodies here. Going to look some different personnel. 11 personnel. Trips right. Thelen take the snap and he's going to pass. Looks to his left, now back to his right. Has to scramble as the pocket collapses. Has time and room. He's going to step up, nowhere to go. And good defense. A little bit of a late hit. No call, though, as he was heading towards the sideline. And for the Mounties, that was Medrano.
Yeah,
really good things about him this season.
They're really high on Medrano. Not able to play last season, but you see just keeping his eyes on the quarterback on that last one, able to push him out of bounds before he's able to get too much.
So that'll make it 3rd and 4 here for the Oredigers. Again, this offense, we haven't seen a lot of, they've had a few big plays on the shots, but for the most part, it's just been a grinding offense, just really physical. We're going to run the ball down your throat, and they've had some success thus far. Obviously up 11 here as we cross under 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter, and we got a timeout. I think Montana Tech is going to want a little extra time here to put some thought into this one. This is a key drive. They could run the clock all the way down here if they're smart. So we'll step away here and be right back with the end of this second quarter action on the Mountie Sports Network. It's been a great game here this first half. Number 12 ranked Oredigers of Montana Tech currently lead by 11, 17-6 over Eastern Oregon here in La Grande, Oregon. A little Pacific Northwest action. Football here for you in the Frontier Conference, the Frontier Conference opener for both of these teams. Thelen motions a man across to take the snap, doubles look. Just a little bit tight. Here's the snap, drops back, throws it on the crosser across the middle. It's dropped. Easily on the coverage. He was trying to find Torgerson on the short crossing route. Little shallow cross, and he just couldn't haul it in. 4th down. And then right here, this is a great chance for the Mounties. You got 5.5 minutes to go. You're about to get the ball back. If you can put together and sustain a drive and score here going into the half, give yourself some momentum, could be huge for the second half for the Mountaineers. Again, don't want to get ahead of ourselves. 5.5 minutes to go. The Mounties offense has looked good, though. They have marched and they've pushed the ball down the field in every drive, and they've come up short twice now on 4th down in the red zone. That's what stings. This could be a completely different game. Those are 2 scoring opportunities that you really wish you could get back.
Yeah, Dawson, and how impressive has this defense been here in the first half? Giving up 10 points, but you're forcing a punt here, holding them to the field goal in the first half. Obviously, you play a really good Montana Western team that returns all 11 starters on offense in the first game, but then it seems like they kind of found something, holding the Pirates to 0 points in the second half last week. And then so far, I think just a good performance against this number 12 ranked Montana Tech team so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think defensively you have to be juiced with how they're playing right now. You got a pick 6, so that's 1 touchdown on the board. Without that, they got the the broken play, a long play that leads to a field goal, and then they get you with one good drive and nice little play action. You score on the open touchdown as Montana Tech making some adjustments here before they punt. Be interesting to see if a fake came here, and there won't be. Here's the punt, gets away, almost blocked. Robinson on the return now, heading the other way. He's got some steam and nowhere to go. Great coverage from Montana Tech as David Lowry chased him down. And we do have a late flag, 2 flags coming from the referees here. Let's see what the call is. There might have been some taunting and a little John on the back end of that play.
Parker Robinson on the return.
And now, was that Cole Martin? I couldn't tell. Who was it? I mean, almost got his hands and blocked the punt. Talk about, that would have been some momentum coming your way. Refs discussing here. And the way they're lining up, it looks like this one's going to go against EOU.
After the personal foul, unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness, number 19 on the return team, 15 yards for the end run, first down.
And so that's going to be unnecessary roughness, calling it on 19, Nick Robinson, the defensive back of the Mountaineers, on the punt return coverage.
Yeah, and that hurts the Mountaineers. Really an unnecessary penalty there. And get the good stop on defense, pinning the Orediggers back in their own red zone. Kind of flip field goal position. You have a really good chance, and then backed up a little bit here to start.
Gun look for the Mounties, doubles, 2 to each side of Glasper here as they open this drive. We got 5 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock here remaining in the first half. Glasper to take the snap. Looks to his right. There's the speed out, a little Ohio look. Picks up about 3 yards. You see, it's a classic route concept that's always pretty successful. If you got cover 2 underneath, I mean, there's one guy there. If you run him off with the go on the outside and then the speed out underneath, he's got to pick someone. Glasper making the right read there. Picks up a few yards. 2nd and 6. Drops back. Looks to his right. There's the wheel. Nothing. Across the middle. He's got a man. That's Blackham across the middle. First down, Mountaineers. And again, this Mountie offense looking good. And right there, you know what I really love seeing from Glasper here today. And plays like that, I mean, there's been the quick hitters that are kind of like, hey, you adjust, you make that decision prior to the snap. You see the coverage, and you're like, hey, this is going to be there, you go with it. But there, you saw him get through his reads, stand in the pocket, and deliver a good ball. Glasper playing with a lot of confidence today. Here's the little pin and pull toss outside. Macmillan out, a little bit of contact around the edge late. Gets to about the 46-yard line. Looks like he'll be a yard short of the first down. Nice 9-yard carry for Macmillan.
You know, Dawson, you talk about Glasper getting through his progressions. I thought it was a really nice pocket there developing for him. Credit to the offensive line being able to give him that time to make all those reads, and then also some good blocks there on the run to the outside on that last play.
And here's the read option. Glasper pulls it, trying to make something happen. Nowhere to go. He's going to just pull it down and lose a couple yards there. Not the right read there. Montana Tech playing the read option very, very well. Again, you're reading that end, and if that end crashes, that's when you're supposed to pull and get some running room and supposed to essentially leave that man out on the edge, and he has to make a decision. And there, he did a good job sitting, stringing it out. Glasper nowhere to go. Trips left, Glasper looking the underneath pass. It's batted up, and that one hung in the air. Always a worry that it might get picked off. Does find the turf as Matt Whitcomb was the closest one to it, but can't make a play on it. So 4th down, the Mounties sending out the punt team, it looks like. And at this point, it's tough. You got 3.5 minutes. I think you want to pin them as far back as possible, and then you're just going to play some safe defense, not let anything over the top. I'm assuming that's the thinking here for Eastern Oregon, who, 3.5 minutes, you could go for it. You're on, you're in enemy territory, but here's the punt. Nice look, bounces on the 15, and that one's going to go all the way down to the 10-yard line. So good punt. That'll change the field position. Montana Tech going to have to march a long way in just 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And Eastern Oregon playing it safe here as we near the end of the first half, James.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you're looking for, a good punt, pinning them inside the 10-yard line. Your defense just proved that they can hold them and, stop them on this side of the field, force the punt. So just telling your guys, hey, let's just do the same thing we did last time. Let's get a stop here, give our offense a chance to make this thing close here at the end of the first half.
And part of that is knowing your opponent as well. You look at this Montana Tech offense. I mean, they're going to rely on the run first. They're going to try and bash it into you and get 5 yards of whack as we see the outside carry here, and there it is. A good 4-yard carry for Smith. But you look at the offensive style, right? And offensively, what they're trying to do, they're trying to run the ball, pound it, get 3, 4, or 5 yards, and then rely on that play action. Now, if you're Eastern Oregon, go ahead. In this situation, you punt, you pin them deep, and then the run's going to be there. Play everything in front of you. Don't get beat over top. Don't bite on the play action, because that's where the big plays happen in this offense, is the play action off of the run game. And when you're prepared for it in this situation, I think, defensively it's a good game plan. Eastern showing a little disguise on the coverage, going over top, and what did I say? Don't get beat over top, and that's what happens as Grant gets beat and then chases down Wyatt Alexander on the reception.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Dawson. There they are. So we have a flag coming in. It'll be interesting to see what that is. But, faking the run, play action, downfield. We've really seen 2 now from this Montana Tech team just exploiting it downfield.
And that's exactly, like I said, it's their big plays are gonna come off the play action. If you're in the secondary, you got to be thinking pass first. You can't bite on that play action, and that's just play action, long crosser route, gets the edge and gets past Jason Grant there. Grant moving to safety this year, an all-conference player for the Mounties last year. He played more of the linebacker inside last year. Good athlete, runs well. Big-time leader on this Mountie defense. Here's the motion across, the fake jet, and the handoff inside. Smith with a head of steam. Still on his feet, but nowhere to go. The Mountie defense meeting him at the line of scrimmage. Might get a yard or 2 on the carry. Nearing the 2-minute mark. Looks like we'll come down to the 2-minute warning here. And we will. Time runs down, so we'll take a quick break here, and then we'll be right back with the final 2 minutes of action here in the first half on the Mountie Sports Network. Welcome back to the Mountie Sports Network. Mounties currently trailing by 11. 2 minutes to go. Montana Tech with the ball on the march here as they sit on the 33-yard line heading in Eastern Oregon territory. We've had a good one here so far, James. I mean, you look at the numbers. EOU and Montana Tech, 11-point ball game. The pick 6 has really been the glaring difference in this game to me. Both teams moving the ball well offensively, and I think it's been 2 things. The pick 6, great play from Montana Tech to put them up 11, and then on the other side, Eastern Oregon just not capitalizing in the red zone. They have left a lot of points on the table here today, being down on the goal line, 3-yard line, and try to go to the end zone, can't get it. We saw it on the first drive of the game, can't get it again, just leaving some points on the table. Here's the shot, Thelen going deep. And heck of a throw, only where his guy could get it. He was targeting Levi Torgerson.
Yeah, good coverage on that one by the Mountaineers. You just got burned on the play-action pass earlier. A little bit better coverage downfield, but still a great throw. Kind of gave his guy a chance. You look at the numbers. Glasper, 154 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Thelen, 128 yards passing, 1 touchdown, but the bulk of those yardage coming on those 2 plays down the field. So
you just got to look at attempts, right? Glasper 18 of 25, Thelen 5 of 7.
Yeah.
Similar in the yardage category. Here's the screen underneath the tight end with a late leak. He's got a lot of room, hurdles, and gets inside the 10. Montana Tech marching, minute 40 to go, so they got plenty of time. They can run this down, get 4 plays in here inside the 10-yard line. As we near the end of the first half, the Mounties going to do their best to keep them out. And if you're the Mounties now, you're just hoping to hold them to a field goal, limit the damage, and go into the half. Montana Tech, tall order to stop this Montana Tech team inside the 10. This is a very physical team. You got some physical backs. There's the play action, and across the middle, wide open, touchdown to the big man, the tight end, Derek Pierce coming across. You go to the replay here, you see the play action, you see him leak out and sneak right behind Shaw and number 7 there for the Mounties as he bit on the play action. And again, that's why it's so hard to defend this Montana Tech team, though, because the way they run the ball, if you don't sell out to stop the run, they're going to get 4 or 5 yards of whack easily and more. And so when they hit those play actions, it's extremely effective. And for the PAT is Root lined up. Here's the snap, the kick, it's good.
And the extra point is good.
So a minute 16 to go. Montana Tech strikes as time ticks down here in the first half. We'll step away for just a moment. We'll see if the Mounties will try and answer with just over a minute to go here on the Mounties Sports Network in the first half. Minute 16 to go. Montana Tech finds the end zone. A little play action pass. Derek Pierce hauling in the completion from Blake Thelen, who adds his second passing touchdown of the day. We'll see if the Mounties try and answer here or if they run the clock down, take it into the half, and try and make some adjustments. And again, from a first half standpoint, ball fumbled and loose. Parker Robinson picks it up on the 5-yard line, has nowhere to go. Some good coverage, and the Mounties pinned inside their own 15. The 11-yard line, it looks like, is Robinson having some troubles hauling in the kick.
Christian Hansen brought it down.
Yeah, in a minute 9 here, we've seen the Mountaineers with some success with those short routes, Dawson, but you got to think that's, don't quite have enough time to get all the way down the field if you're just hitting those. So going to have to dig a little deeper into the playbook here on this final minute before the half ends.
As you said, we haven't seen him truly make some plays down the field here today. The Mounties have taken some shots and have had limited success, but again, Glasper stepping up in the pocket, running to his left. He's going to slide at the 20, make it the 18. They'll take a couple yards from him. But again, if you can be smart, move the ball quick and hit those underneath routes, because if you're Montana Tech here, you're probably playing deep, probably giving some cushion off the line of scrimmage. I mean, if you can be smart, play to the sideline and just conserve time, might be able to do something here. Here's the slant to Kesey, hauls it in. There's the tackle, and we've got an Ordigger down. Can't see a number there. Jaden Downs, it looks like, on the tackle, gets up. Good to see. Looks like he'll probably have to come out of the game since they stopped the clock. He will, but looks like he's all right. Shaking the shoulder, maybe a stinger there, something along those lines. Glad to see him get up and walk off under his own power. Get back to the action. 42 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Glasper trips to his left. Macmillan in the backfield with him. Here's the snap, looking to his left. And nowhere to go. Glasper going to pull it down and run again. There's the slide. He gets about 4 yards on the carry. Time ticking down, and it doesn't look like Montana Tech willing to give anything over 5 yards here in the air. That defensive front, when you're sending 4 guys and getting some pressure on the quarterback, that makes things difficult as well. Glasper has some time, fires across the middle. Glasper complete to Spurrier. Gets taken down at the 40-yard line. And on the tackle there was DeMario King, the defensive back. He has a pick 6 on the day, and we do have a timeout. So the Mounties going to have a chance here to throw a Hail Mary. Looking at the wind, that might be a tall task here as it's blowing to the northwest into the Mounties' face, and we've got a timeout. So 5 seconds, and it's a good chance to kind of rehash things here in this first half. Again, this has been a good game. I think there's been some deciding things that, that starts off. The first score of the game comes on the field goal from Root, 36 yards, punches it through the uprights after a long pass, an 8-play, 64-yard drive from Montana Tech. The Mounties answer after that. Quincy Glasper finds Malachi Spurrie, that beautiful touchdown pass down here in the north end zone, the left of your screen. And then from there, it's kind of been all Montana Tech. They answer. They put together a good drive. Blake Thelen caps it off. Wyatt Alexander, a little 10-yard touchdown pass, hauls it in on a 65-yard drive. And then right after that, kind of disaster struck as a pick 6. Glasper picked off by DeMario King, who ran it back. And then the final touchdown coming just moments ago here with under 2 minutes to go. This Montana Tech mounted a 90-yard drive. A few big plays, and ends with the Blake Thelen to Derek Pierce touchdown pass. So, Mounties coming out, trips to his left. We'll see if we're going to get a Hail Mary look here. Time ticking down. The Mounties might be able to get a little bit closer. And there's the cross a middle, Kesey. And he catches it. He's down. 2 seconds on the clock. And the Mounties do not have any timeouts, so they can snap it as soon as it's set. We'll see if they can get it off. As everybody rushes up to the line, this is their last chance as soon as they roll the clock. And they are going to get it off. Here's the final play. Horn goes. Glasper looking. And he's going to be sacked. A great effort from the defensive end. That was Wyatt DeVos coming off the edge, gets into Glasper's feet, and that is how the first half will end. One half of action down. Eastern Oregon trails the number 12 ranked Orediggers of Montana Tech, score 24-6 here on the Mounties Sports Network. We'll be back with the second half after this break. 24-6, one half of play down here in this Frontier Conference opener. We've got the number 12 ranked Orediggers of Montana Tech taking on the home-standing Eastern Oregon University Mountaineers here in beautiful Grande, Oregon. A little Pacific Northwest football action for you here as both teams making their way back onto the field, getting ready for the second half. And it's been a good first half. The Mounties struggling again, 0-2 out of the gates. They've had a rough couple of seasons and a rough start to this season. Montana Tech, on the opposite side, has gotten off to an excellent start, beating one top 3 team in the nation and one team receiving votes in the national rankings. So two different sides of the story there, both coming in, and it was a good first half. I don't think, James, that the score is quite indicative of what that first half looked like. James, what did you see in that first half?
Yeah, well, I think like you mentioned, this Montana Tech team they've shown why they've won those 2 games against number 3 ranked team and Carroll, really being able to control the ball and also just make some big plays, through the air, but also defensively getting that pick 6. I think what we're talking about so far is just those missed opportunities for Eastern Oregon. You've had a couple times you're in the red zone and you're not able to convert on 4th down. I like them playing aggressive, but also you're thinking, dang, if we had those we're able to score touchdowns on those 2 possessions, and also not throw that pick 6. That's a potentially 21-point differential.
Right. I think the big thing, you talk about that, the red zone, that's the thing. If you're Eastern Oregon, you're kicking yourself. I mean, you're on the 3-yard line, can't score. You're in the red zone, inside the 10, can't score. Another one just outside around the 25-yard line. I mean, you've had 3 really good opportunities to score, can't get it done. You got a missed PAT, and so you've got some mistakes there that you can clean up. Now, that's the good thing is you can fix that, and this is a completely different ball game. On the other side, Montana Tech is done what all good teams do. They take care of business. They play good assignment football. They run the ball hat on hat. They're getting downfield. They're controlling the game. And then, they kill you with the play action. They're so effective because they pound the rock. They hit you hard. They're punching you in the mouth over and over. And then just when you get suckered into it, you get hit with that play action and a pass over the top. We've seen it 3 or 4 times today. And so Montana Tech showing why they're, a top 15 team, the number 12 team in the country right now. They just play great assignment football. They're well coached. They know what they're doing, and they've had no mistakes, And then obviously the pick 6 was huge too. As we get to the second half, there's the kickoff. Here's the return, a little bit of space, cut back, and out to the 30-yard line is Levi Torgerson as he's taken down by the Mounties. But that's what we saw in the first half as we're now underway in the second half. Let's see. The good thing, if you're the Mounties, there's so many good things from that first half. They were moving the ball very well. You look at the numbers. Quincy Glasper had a great half. 21 of 28, 187 yards and a touchdown. Obviously the pick 6, which I credit that more to a great defensive play, play call and just recognition from the defensive back, Mario King, who hopped in front of that and took it to the house. But the score doesn't quite tell the story here of that first half. It's been competitive. It's been some good football, and we're getting back to the action here as Montana Tech takes over. Thelen here to take the snap again. Double tight end look here for the Orediggers. Here's the snap, play action, screen outside to Torgerson. Nowhere to go. Great defense. Right there, swallowing it up is Peyton Howe, the defensive back again, coming out of Carroll College, a transfer, and we've seen Peyton Howe make a few plays today, looking good outside on the edge at corner for the Mounties. Again, blue skies, beautiful day. A little bit breezy in the first half. It's died down here, not quite as bad now, but had a wind blowing from from the southeast, a little bit heading towards the northwest. So right now, wind into Montana Tech's face, something to keep an eye on. Here's the drop back. He looks to his left. Thelen fires over to Torgerson, and just off the mark, can't make a play on it. That one incomplete. Some good coverage by the Mounties.
Yeah, and Thelen didn't throw it much in that first half, but he was definitely accurate when he did, counting for 161 yards through the air and not able to connect on that one. Good defensive play by the Mountaineers, forcing a long 3rd and 9.
And we do have a man down. Looks like he's trying to make his way up on the field there, one of the offensive linemen. Looks like that's Jacob Graves getting up and walking off on his own power, so that's good to see. But, yeah, I think that's another funny thing when you go and look at the tape of this game. I mean, talk about just complete opposite ends of the spectrum offensive-wise. I mean, you look at Montana Tech, right? A lot of tight formations, pounding the ball, completely different philosophy, leaning heavily on that play action. You talk about, wasn't throwing it a lot. At one point, he had the same amount of yards on about a quarter of the completions. They're not throwing the ball a ton, but when they do throw the ball, they're taking shots off play action, and they're taking deep shots versus Eastern Oregon, we've seen a lot of hitches, speed outs, screens, stuff like that, and just completely different types of offense. It's kind of been an interesting matchup here today as Thelen fires another one. That one just high and over the outstretched hands of Wyatt Alexander, incomplete. So first drive of the second half goes nowhere for Montana Tech. Mounties defense putting the clamps down, James.
Yeah, absolutely. Bringing a little bit of pressure there. Weren't able to get to the quarterback before he throws the ball, but you got to think maybe, get in his head a little bit, cause him to sail it over the top of the wide receiver. And you got to feel really good about this if you're the Eastern Oregon Mountaineers. You're down at half, but come out here, get a stop, give your offense the opportunity to do what they're supposed to do, and get you back in this game.
Back to receive for the Mounties, Parker Robinson. Again, one of the best returners in the Frontier Conference last season, receiving all conference honors. Nowhere to go, and he's taken down. Great coverage from Montana Tech, swallowing it up. And in on the play there, that was David Lowry, who said his name a couple times today. Having himself a decent game. So we'll see what the Mountie offense looks like. They had a halftime break, and that's always a topic of discussion is how many adjustments can truly be made at halftime, James. You got 15 minutes. I mean, can you go in there and really redraw up a game plan? I don't think that's quite the case, but you can make some small adjustments, and sometimes that can be the difference in the game. We'll see here as Glasper takes the snap, steps up, fires. He's got Blackham across the middle. That one hauled in for a gain of around 5 yards. There for the stop for the Ore Diggers was Peyton Gonzer. 2nd and 5 here for the Mounties. And we've had a lot of success. A few quick in routes, out routes. There's the hitch there. And that Mountie offense keeps plugging along. Walker Camp on the reception. Glasper right now, I mean, you got to hand it to him. He's 23 of 30. Pretty good numbers. Nearing the 200-yard mark at 198, 199 official stat. Years we early in the second half, Glasper looking good. He's going to take the deep shot, looking for his man Spurrie, the number 1 target this year as he took a hit. That one incomplete, led him a little bit too much. We talk about these two teams. I mean, right now, Eastern Oregon, just under 200 yards passing, 78 on the ground. On the other side, Montana Tech, who's really been super, super balanced this year. Glasper stepping up, nowhere to go, get some yards, but there are 2 flags down on the field. But Montana Tech, a team that has been very balanced in the pass run game. I mean, right now, it's those big hitters have just been lethal as they've got 160 passing yards and only 60 rushing yards now. Those 60 rushing yards have, I think there's a little more to it than just 60 yards. They've been a very physical 60 yards, which has takes a toll on a defense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the stats, like you said, kind of hard to believe that they only have 60 rushing yards because they have been leaning so heavily on that ground and pound game, kind of controlling the line of scrimmage, it seems like, on the offensive end. But credit to Eastern Oregon, able to limit them on the ground so far.
Yeah, Eastern Oregon, obviously defense has had his troubles here in the first 2 games, but they've looked good today. Have to hand it to them. I mean, this is a good Montana Tech team. They've kept them in check for the most part. A couple of big plays have cost the Mounties. If they can limit those, they'll be in a good spot in the second half. Glasper, 3rd and 6 to take the snap. Doubles, 2 to each side. A little draw, quarterback draw. Steps up, reads the block, and gets the first down. Goes down awkwardly, a little bit of contact. Ball might be out as there's a fight for it on the ground right now. We'll see what the call is. Slowly, the pile thins here. Go to the replay.
And it looked to me like the official was signaling that he was down.
And it's tough to say. They're going to say he is down, but that ball definitely did come loose. And it was a little bit closer than I realized. You go to the replay, but the Mounties hold on to it. First down, Glasper picks it up on the quarterback draw. Here's a quick power give to Macmillan. Coming behind the big pulling tackle. That was Tanner Nett coming up the middle. And if you're a linebacker and you see Tanner Nett with a full head of steam, good luck.
It's dangerous. Dangerous.
That's a big man, a very strong man. And I don't think anybody wants to see him in the hole. Again, Tanner Nett, an All-American in the shot put. Same play call, going right back to it. And the Mounties with a second effort. That's what you love to see. And we do have a penalty. We'll see what it is. But I'll tell you right there, Macmillan gets met right there at the first down. And then giving him a little extra shove. Ramsey Herring. You love to see that. Coming up, giving him a shove, a little second effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of got stood up right there, kind of at the 1-yard line. Maybe could have got it, but no doubt after that good push by Herring.
Face mask. Number 95 on the defense.
That's always one of those things. It's a face mask. Face mask. So the Mounties going to get some extra yards on top of it. But I played running back, and that's what you got a O-lineman. You get stood up, and you got somebody start pushing the pile, and that's you can get 10 extra yards off stuff like that, and that's something that's winning football. You know, it's little things like that that can make such a huge difference. You know, versus getting stuck there. Maybe you're a yard short, whatever, and you're in a completely different position on this drive. Glasper looks to his left, nowhere to go. Fires one-on-one to the end zone. Kesey at the corner, a lot of contact. Kesey looking for a call. There was some grabbing as it was over the outstretched arms. I'd love to see that replay there. That was an interesting look there. A lot of contact down in the corner, one-on-one. Kesey. Also a surprising target, you know, when you're going to the end zone in this area, right?
Yeah, you know, it looked like he tried to throw it up there, give Kesey a chance, and I think Kesey was upset, thinking maybe his jersey got pulled as the defender tried to make a play on the ball, but a
lot of the time it goes both ways with that too. Glasper taking the snap, drops back, throws it outside to Macmillan, can't get a hand on it as that ball was perfectly placed and great coverage from the linebacker who put himself in a good spot there. Derek Lawing, just really tough spot there. Go to the replay here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Macmillan was trying to keep the ball alive, and you can see the Montana Tech defender upset that he wasn't able to get underneath that one as the ball just hung in the air for an extra second longer.
That was DeMario King. He's already got 1 pick six. Probably kicking himself a little bit for not trying to get after it and pick up an extra interception as that ball hung up. Glasper takes the snap, drops back, 3rd and 10. There's the screen and great coverage. It's sniffed out, and there might have been some early contact. We have a flag. This could be very costly. Cole Wyant was there, made the stop, and knocked it loose. Was he there early is the question, or was it the excessive celebration on the end of it? I mean, he stood up and flexed, excited, making a big play. I don't think that was too excessive. As we go to the replay, big shout out to Gibb Pollard pulling it up. It looks like he got there a little early. We'll see what the call is, but I would say that that's pass interference. There was contact made early. Again, it's slow-mo.
Yeah, and credit to
number 50 on the defense. That's a spot foul, automatic first down.
And that's one of those things we talked about mistakes, right? Montana Tech has played a very clean game. That is a mistake. 3rd down. 3rd and 10, 3rd and long, you sniff it out, you're in great position. Even if he catches that, they pick up a yard. That's a mistake, and that's going to reset the downs. That is huge for Eastern Oregon.
Yeah, and that's number 50, Cole Wyant. Good recognition, obviously kind of sniffed the play out, knew they were slipping it right there to the running back on that little screen pass. So good recognition, but just recognized it a little too early, got there, you know, just a second too soon on the play, and extends the drive for Eastern Oregon.
Refs picking up the flags here, getting ready. I think they're going to have to mark it off. Getting back to the action, you see a little personnel change. Blackham and Kesey coming in as Robinson and Sweet come out. You know, one thing I'm always surprised is you're in the red zone, and we haven't seen it a lot. Maybe the Mounties are saving it. Don't know. But Tanner Sweet, big body, jumps well, good athlete. He's a guy, you know, you'd think that they would target him more in this area of the field. But you also have some lengthy receivers. Blackham, big guy, a guy you can go to in the red zone. We'll see here. Glasper, the motion to the trips. Glasper takes the snap, looks to his left, going one-on-one to Kesey again, and reaches too far. Nothing there, but I like it. You know, first down, hey, you got a fresh set of downs. Let's take a shot at the end zone. It's a tough call, though, targeting DeMario King, who's had himself a great game in coverage here for this Montana Tech Ore Digger defense. Glasper trips right, shotgun. Here's the snap and the give to Macmillan. Bounces it outside. He's got the edge, and he's taken down at the 15-yard line. Good play defensively, Matt Whitcomb. Sifting through traffic and making the tackle.
Third and 5.
3rd and 5 here for the Mounties. Getting trips right. Mounties, we've seen it. Here's look for the one-on-one matchup. You got Sweek down on the inside. And there's another give to Macmillan. Quick hesitation, tries to plow ahead. I think he's going to be about 2 yards short as he gets down to the 13-yard line.
So we've talked about it, Dawson, converting on these 4th down opportunities in the red zone. You're down 18 points right now. Is this one of those opportunities to kind of, you know, you got to think in the first half they're talking about some of those, what they do differently, kind of if they get in that situation again. Interesting to see what they do here.
And we got the arms waving. It's going to be a timeout. Yeah, you bring a great point up there, James. And we're going to have a quick break, and we'll talk a little bit more about that on the other side here. We'll be right back on the Mountie Sports Network. Back in Community Stadium, Frontier Conference football. We got a good one right before the break, James. You asked a great question. We talked about it. First half, the Mounties had 3 opportunities in or around the red zone and came up short. Here we are again. You've got 4th and 3. You got to get past, the 11, 10.5-yard line to get that first down. And the question is, right, okay, you went into halftime. Here's your chance. Did you make an adjustment? Did you look at this? This is what's killed the Mounties today, and this could be, the Mounties could have a lead right now if they hit, we're converting on these opportunities. Let's see what they go to here. We got a big one. Something to look for here. 4th down, the Mounties 2 of 4 on 4th down conversions today.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't be surprised if Glasper takes it himself. Gives his wide receivers a chance, sees if anything's open, but he's had a good time today kind of tucking it and running it himself.
Doubles look, that Montana Tech defense coming up. Here's the pass, quick out route. Walker Camp catches it. That's going to be a first down. A little bit of aggression there on the tackle, a little suplex action, but great job. Walker Camp hauls it in, physical run after the catch. And I believe that was DeMario King making his presence known on the end of that play. But great job. Mounties get a first down here, now on the 6-yard line. Here's the turn, the handoff to Peterson, the bigger back. You haven't seen him today, nowhere to go, gets a couple yards. Again, we talked about it, Macmillan. He's been the premier back today, and for the most part this season. Macmillan, a LeGrand product.
2nd and goal from the 5.
Now he's going with a tight look here. Look at Sweek and Blackham to the right. There's the handoff to the left. Macmillan trying to get to the edge, nowhere to go. Great fill from Montana Tech. And right there, that's textbook from Peyton Gonzer. You go to that play, textbook. You step up, flow with it, and fill. Great job from Gonzer.
Third and goal.
So 3rd and goal here. The Mounties need to do something. They've tried to run the ball twice, nothing working so far. Again, Mounties with a bunch to Glasper's right. You got Sweek. 1-on-1 down at the bottom of your screen. Here's the pass, drops back, looks to his right. Everybody coming across the middle. Glasper going to tuck it, tries to spin. Big hit to the head of Glasper. Gets up, that's good, but not able to get to that goal line. He's going to be a couple yards short here. 4th down again.
Wyant brought him down.
So the Mounties exhausting their options here in the red zone. They have got to score here if they want to get back in this game. This is critical. Momentum-wise, you know, it's going to be a heartbreaker if you do not score on another red zone trip. Here it is. Glasper take the snap, trips to the right, looks to his left, one-on-one, fires, touchdown, Tanner Sweek.
And Dawson, you talked about it, just how much of an end zone threat Sweek is. Didn't quite throw it up to him that time, but is able to fire a bullet to him in the end zone and connect for 6.
Yeah, I think, well, you got Sweek, you're one-on-one. This is a big guy. You're probably, honestly, defensively, you're expecting that jump ball, and I think you saw that as, I think that was King on him, and he kind of gave him some space, was looking for like a little goal line fade, something like that, and instead, Glasper just throws a bullet right to him. Sweek comes back to it. Mounties going for 2 here. I love it. Let's go. So trying to cut into this lead, 12-24. Stacked bunch right. Glasper steps back, nothing there. He's got the little whip route. What a grab, Malachi Spurrier. It's in. 2-point conversion. What a play. One hand, stick it out. Checking for the stick-em. What a grab.
Yeah, what a catch there by Spurrier. Snatching it out of the air with one hand right across the goal line. And we talked about it, Dawson, at the break. You mentioned you wouldn't be surprised if you saw them go 4-2. Definitely doesn't hurt, especially after missing the extra point earlier in the game. All of a sudden, we got a 10-point game here.
Heck yeah, and I mean, I tell you what, I love that play call, going for it there. You know, hey, get the score. 1, go to Tanner Sweek. Big guy, great athlete, down in the red zone. That's a guy that's going to be a weapon for you. 2, go for 2, and I love the whip route there. You run 2 slants with it. Everybody flows. He sticks his foot in the ground, gets outside, and you see the defenders react, but I think Glasper caught it just in time, got it to him, and of course, I mean, hats off to Spurrier. What a grab down on the goal line. I mean, all around, great play. Tip your cap to everybody there. But again, that's huge for the Mountaineers. They're back in this game. 10-point ball game, 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. This has been a fun one. And again, I think the Mounties offense looks good. The defenses look good. They shut down Montana Tech on that first drive. Let's see if they can keep to it. And again, right now you can't let Montana Tech beat you with like another play action, a big play like that. You know they're going to run the ball. You know what type of team they are. They're going to be physical. If you can shut down the run and keep the pass game in front of you, you can hopefully do some good things as this Mountie defense. Both teams running out here for the kickoff.
You know, if you're Eastern Oregon, Coach Solo and this staff, you've gotten a couple stops here, definitely stuffing them, kind of controlling that running game. Absolutely, like you're talking about, you're preaching, okay, let's cut out those big plays. Offense just had a big, long drive, able to punch it into the end zone. We got this thing. It's only 10 points now with a lot of game left, but we need to stop here.
McLaren to kick off for the Mounties. There it is. Torgerson going to return here, catches it at the 20, going all the way across the field, now cuts up, still on his feet, and then getting hit from behind. I think that was Aiden Patterson. They're finally getting his hands on Torgerson. Patterson, a guy that I have heard referred to as you know, a potential special teams All-American, a guy with a good motor, physical, fast. Expect to, see him make some more plays throughout this season. 14-24, 10-point ball game. The Mounties get on the board here in the second half. A great drive. I mean, look at that last drive. 18 plays, 73 yards. 18 plays in one drive. I mean, it's not something you see very often. And again, the style that the Mounties offense is playing right now, I mean, that's what's going to happen. You're getting a lot of short plays. They got help, big penalty. We talked about the mistake, that aspect of it, and that really cost them. That's a touchdown for the Mounties that possibly does not happen if they don't have that pass interference late in that drive. Here's the play action. The pass, Thelen has a wide open tight end across the middle. He's going to get to the 40, quick step back, hauls it in. Nice gain, Logan Kennedy. And again, this is where that Montana Tech offense is so effective. Their play action is so good, and they're just running long passing routes. And then, we talk about it. This O-line is full of bruisers. They can run the ball. But look at the pocket. Thielen has all day on that, and you're running those long play actions. He's really carrying it out, and then he still has plenty of time after the play action to make the throw. I mean, it's tough on the coverage and your defensive backs to stay in coverage and try and lock guys up that long too. Here it is. Here's the give. We've got a new tailback in the game. He's got the edge and he's got some speed. Gets all the way down to the 22-yard line. As that was Christian Vetter on the carry. Vetter, a 195-pound junior out of Butte, Montana, gets his first carry of the game and makes his mark, picks up the first down. A nice haul, 15 yards. And again, the stadium has gotten a little bit quiet. I mean, a great drive by the Mounties, and now Montana Tech just taking the life out of this stadium. Thelen takes the snap. There's another give to Vetter. Same play. Sweep to the left. Gets inside the 20 and gets hit by a wall of defenders.
Vetter, the ball carrier.
Again, I believe that was Maya Medrano on the tackle there. Again, heard nothing but great things about him at linebacker for this Mountie squad. One of the reasons why the Mounties and Coach Solo Taylor were willing to move, Jason Grant back to safety, a really good linebacker and all-conference player. I mean, they wanted to move him back to the defensive back, but they could do that because they had Medrano coming up and have confidence in him at that linebacker position. Here's the snap. Play action, rolling to his right. Thelen back across the middle. That one hauled in by Wyatt Alexander. Middle of the field.
To Alexander. First and goal for Montana
It's
Tech.
just pretty standard. I mean, just textbook play action, a lot of deep crossing routes. You pull the safety and the linebackers with that first one, and the second guy comes in behind. Good looks from Thelen, throwing on the move a little bit there. Again, tight look here from Montana Tech. Thelen to take the snap. Here's the handoff. Smith back in the game, sticks his nose in there and gets a couple yards to about the 5-yard line.
Smith, the ball carrier.
Again, Medrano in on that play as well.
Second and goal.
Also coming onto the field for the Mounties, Gabe Shuckle moved back to a linebacker this year. Played a lot more on the defensive line in years past. Veteran leader on this defense. Again, another heavy set. Got the H back ahead. Here's the tight end in motion playing out wide. And got to think Montana Tech's just going to pound it here. There's the give to Smith inside. He's taken down, maybe a gain of a yard or two on the play. And you saw Dakota Hibb fly off the edge there. Good play. Or, scratch that, Gabe Shuckle, my apologies.
Third and goal from the 4.
So here we go. We've seen this, both teams in this position a lot here this game. Third and short, down inside the 5. And a lot of action in the red zone here today. Thelen motions a man across. Here's the snap, the pull, and the pass outside. Hauled in. Touchdown, Orders. Little play action. That might, I mean, if I had to guess, I'm assuming that's an RPO, because that was Nick Michelotti hauling in the touchdown off the edge, but you see him ride out the action there and then whip it out on the out route. Looked very much like a run-pass option.
Yeah, and good placement by Thelen. That's his 3rd touchdown of the night, doing an excellent job orchestrating this offense, handing the ball off and then capitalizing, putting the ball where it needs to go.
PAT attempt on the way. Snap, hold, kick, good.
And the extra point is good.
So make it 31-14. Montana Tech answers Eastern Oregon here in the third quarter. We got 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go until the final frame. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Mountie Sports Network. Montana Tech scores. Nice little play action RPO option as Nick Michelotti gets in on the goal line for a score. Montana Tech extends that lead. The number 12 ranked team in the country playing some good football here today. Eastern Oregon doing a good job hanging with them. Wishing they could get a few plays back in that first half. But let's see what they can do here as we get down to crunch time here in Frontier Conference football. The opener for both these teams of conference play. It's been a fun one. Kick goes through the back of the end zone. Eastern Oregon going to take over after the touchback.
Ball goes in the end zone.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but Thelen, talk about just efficient. 11 of 16, 200 yards. I mean, His QB rating right now is 237. And you talk about this offense, you can't orchestrate and play in that offense any better than Thelen has played today. I mean, he has looked really good. I mean, they've run the ball, and then when they've called on him to make big plays, they've done it. And that's why Montana Tech's on top right now, 31-14. Here's the snap. Trips right, pistol look. Glasper to take the snap. Looks back, pressure coming off the right side. Takes a hit. Interception! Peyton Gonzer, he's had himself a good game. Steps in front of the man as Glasper saw the pressure coming, had to get rid of it. And that works perfectly to Montana Tech's favor.
Yeah, second one of this game, we've seen a defender jump in front of one of those quick, short routes, and Glasper having to kind of fight through a defender right there as he's getting hit while he throws the ball. Going to put Montana Tech in excellent field goal position here.
So Montana Tech, 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Eastern Oregon trotting out that defense. They need a big stop here. They want to try and get back in this game. Fourth quarter fast approaching. Spread look. Haven't seen a lot of this from Montana Tech today. Here's the play action. Thelen stops back. Some pressure. A nice float pass and a wide open lane to the end zone. Touchdown for the big tight end, Logan Kennedy.
Touchdown, Montana Tech.
Yeah, and those play action passes have just given Eastern Oregon fits today as we see another one go for the touchdown. There is a flag on the play.
And again, you got to hats off to Thelen regardless of what the call is.
Next personal foul.
So that one going against Eastern Oregon. It's declined. Touchdown for the Orediggers coming out to knock down the PAT. Dylan Root. But yeah, like I was saying, hats off to Thelen. That's a great play there. He's rides out the play action again. He's sold that all day. Patterson run on the field late here for this PAT block attempt. But the big thing on that throw, I mean, you got a guy in your face, and he floats it perfectly over the top to Kennedy. Just a beautiful play design, beautiful execution, and another great throw from Thelen, who is having himself one heck of a day. Now 12 of 17 with 4 passing touchdowns, 230 yards. The PAT is good. Make it 38-14. Montana Tech pulling away late here in the second half. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Mountie Sports Network. 38-14. Montana Tech adds another touchdown. Blake Thelen finding Logan Kennedy for a 27-yard touchdown. That Montana Tech offense not slowing down here in the second half. They came out, got stuffed on the first drive. Things were looking up for Eastern Oregon, who then scored. But since then, it's been Montana Tech back-to-back scores. That last one coming on the heels of an interception from the Montana Tech defense. As that one kicked through the back of the end zone after the penalty was actually applied on the kickoff. So the Mounties going to take over after yet another touchback. 3 minutes, 29 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Mounties got to find something here offensively. And again, if it wasn't for 2 costly picks, he could take 2 scores off the board for Montana Tech probably. And then, a little bit of success in the red zone. This could be a very different looking ball game. But regardless, here it is. Here's the play action. Quick whip out to Sweek, and he is met and hit hard by King. Mario King stepping up, delivering the blow to Sweek on the quick out route.
And they are going to give him the completion, picking up 2 yards there.
Glasper to take the snap. The give to Macmillan, nowhere to go. Stuffed by this Montana Tech defense. Again, host of Montana Tech defenders on the stop, leading the way for the Orediggers. It looked like it was DJ Brown and Derek Lawing. Do have a flag on the field.
Personal foul face mask against Montana Tech.
And that'll be a face mask going against the Orediggers. So the Mounties going to move the chains on the penalty.
Ball's at the 43, first and 10, Mountaineers.
Again, been a beautiful day, a lot of blue sky. Sunshine out here in Grande, Oregon. First down here. Slowed down. Ref going to have to reset the ball. Gives the Mounties an extra 1.5 foot there on the re-spot. First and 10 from Eastern Oregon's 44-yard line. Glasper taking the snap. Quick play action, max protection, tight end and a back staying in. There's the comeback route, and that one hauled in. First down, Colton Kesey.
Colton Kesey. First and 10, Mountaineers.
38-14 here, 2 minutes, 12 seconds on the clock. And here comes that empty set. The Mounties came out in this early in the game. We saw it a few times in that first half, and it was very effective as the Mounties run a lot of quick hitters, spreading out that defense and finding gaps. There's the pass inside, intended for Blackham. Didn't have his head around in time, incomplete.
Intended for Blackham.
Looks like EOU going to stay in this set. Again, 5 receivers on the field right now. A lot of times teams will throw in a tailback, but the Mounties have a bit of an advantage. They can throw Robinson out there, and Glasper slides down, picks up 3 yards on a quick scramble. Nothing there.
Yeah, and Glasper, outside of the 222 passing yards so far, leading the Mountaineers in rushing as well with 69 yards gained.
Yeah, we've seen Glasper pull it a few on some read option. He scrambled and picked up a few yards. Glasper, a good athlete, able to make some plays with his legs as well. Again, another empty set, trips to his left. Glasper looks. Quick whip out right to Robinson, who's wide open. Defense sagging off, and looks like he'll get enough for a first down.
First and 10, Mountaineers.
And again, I mean, this has been pretty standard of what we've seen of this Mounties offense all day. It's looked good. They're moving the chains. They're, being smart offensively. Glasper has looked very effective in the pocket. And again, it's just been 2 interceptions that have really killed this offense. Other than that, they have looked really good. And then obviously just finishing in the red zone, which we've talked about a lot. Glasper cuts upfield, picks up 7 yards on the carry. We do have a flag in the backfield.
Number 63 on the offense penalty. It's down.
Holding against the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and that is one of those things, Dawson, when the quarterback is tucking in and running it as much as Glasper is. Sometimes it's a little confusing for those offensive linemen exactly knowing which direction they're supposed to be blocking and where the quarterback is.
First and 20.
Right, and yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're a defensive lineman, you've got your eyes looking into the pocket. You can see where the quarterback's going, and so when they scramble, they're automatically going to readjust, and that can put a lot of stress on your offensive line, and that's where you get some of those holding calls popping up like we just saw. Glasper throwing it across the middle to Sweek. Hauls it in. It'll be a gain of about 5 yards, and instead of first and 20, we're looking at about second and 15, maybe second and 16 here for the Mounties.
Back out by Whitcomb.
Macmillan back in the game as EOU going to a doubles look. 2 receivers to each side. Glasper looking to his right, going through his progression, has to step up. Hops, lowers his shoulder, and he'll go down just past the 40. Matt Whitcomb there to deliver the first blow.
Whitcomb made the initial contact. Third down.
We've seen that a couple times now, Glasper. He's been in trouble a couple times in the backfield. I don't think we've seen him go down yet. Hasn't been sacked, able to escape and, pick up at least a couple yards each of these times.
And sometimes, just not taking the sack can be such a huge advantage and keeping yourself in a good spot. And as I say that, Glasper goes down. Looks like he is rolling in pain, and time goes down on this third quarter.
Official timeout.
We'll step away here and hope for the best as athletic trainers come on the field. After 3 quarters of play, 38-14, Montana Tech on top over Eastern Oregon. We'll be right back on the Mountie Sports Network. Back on the Mountie Sports Network, 1 more quarter to go. We come right back. UOU looking to punt. Glasper made his way off the field. Good to see. Hopefully nothing too serious as he was down for some time there at the end of the third quarter. There's the punt, and Montana Tech is going to field it. Great coverage and making the tackle right there for the Mountaineers. I believe that was number 37, Michael Lanky. Some great coverage on the punt, and they'll pin Montana Tech inside their own 20, actually inside their own 15 at about the 13.5-yard line.
3-7-1. 0-3.
So 1 quarter to go. It all comes down to this here in this Frontier Conference opener. Score 38-14. Eastern Oregon currently trailing the number 12 nationally ranked Ore Diggers of Montana Tech. This Montana Tech offense has imposed its will today. Been hammering away in the run game, and then that play-action pass has been deadly as they've connected very efficiently. 12 of 17 passing. I'd say a large majority of those on play-action. Here's the handoff. And it'll be a nice pickup of about 3, maybe 4 yards. Again, Lander Smith on the carry. We saw him plenty in that first half. Smith coming out. And we have a backup quarterback now in the game here for Montana Tech. Cade Wyant, the senior out of Rockland, California, now in the game. There's the handoff outside, and Torgerson gets out to the edge and picks up the first down here for Montana Tech.
1st and 10 for Montana Tech.
Montana Tech probably going to take their time here, stick to the run game. As I say that, here's a no tailback set. Here's the jet motion play action. Quarterback keeper up the middle. He's got some space. Gets up and takes the first down. Pulled down Peyton Howell on the tackle for the Mountaineers, but Wyant able to make a little magic happen with his legs. Great blocking for Montana Tech there. You see the pull. Designed quarterback run. Had himself a good alley, tried cutting it back, and if he would have gotten past Peyton Howe, he might have had a lot more running room. And again, Montana Tech kind of coming out in a little bit of a wildcat look almost. Wyant takes the snap and runs a little quarterback power to the right.
Yeah, and they had Thelen lining up at wide receiver spot on that last play.
Cade Wyant on the keeper.
Yeah, and I guess good observation there, James. I mean, I guess that truly is a wildcat, but it's just surprising. Obviously, you bring in your backup quarterback to run it, a little bit of a different look. As Thelen now back at quarterback, 2nd and 7. Here's the play action, goes out to the right, plenty of space. Kennedy out towards the edge. There's another first down as he's hit and forced out of bounds by Jason Grant.
Jason Grant escorted him out of bounds. 1st and 10, Montana Tech.
And again, Montana Tech in no hurry here as they pick up another first down. Taking their time to get into their sets. Effectively driving the ball down the field right now. Here's the snap and the give. Nice carry. Yes, we've seen that man before. Christian Vetter finding the edge.
Yeah, and those outside runs have been especially effective today against the Mountaineers. Able to kind of turn the corner.
Well, especially when you have 2 running backs like Montana Tech has. You got the big man, you got Smith, where it's like, hey, you're going to really hammer the ball between the tackles, vertical, run right through your face, essentially, and then you get some stuff coming off the edge with Vetter with some good speed. It's really difficult to stop a 1-2 punch like that. Here's another give. This time Vetter up the middle, gets through a tackle, and keeps going. Nice pickup of about 7 yards on the haul.
Yeah, initially got hit right around the 35-yard line, but kept his legs moving, able to pick up a couple more.
Second and 3.
"11 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Montana Tech on the march, 2nd and 4. Thelen still in the game, motions Kennedy across. Here's the snap and the give outside to Vetter. Another sweep look, and it looks like he's going to pick up the first down.
Vetter, the ball carrier.
In Montana Tech, we talked about it in the first half, and when you play this type of offensive style, you know, a lot of heavy sets, big bodies, very physical, in your face all game. This is where it really pays off, and you can kind of break a team's will in the fourth quarter, in the second half. You know, the Mounties did a good job. They were holding their own in the first half. In the third quarter, they come out, they get a stop, but since then, it's just been hammering away, and you're seeing that wear and tear starting to show on the defense.
Absolutely. This has been a long drive.
Time ticking down. They're about to snap it, but looks like Montana Tech's going to call a timeout. Catch their breath as they continue this long, sustained drive. We got just over 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Montana Tech 38, Eastern Oregon 14 on the Mounties Sports Net. Montana Tech in control on this drive. Score 38-14. Montana Tech already has ran 8 plays for 61 yards. Still some room to go here on the field as they pick up here 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line. And again, I think that is Wyant taking the snap. And there he goes. Finds some space down the sideline. Finally tackled on the sideline. And I believe that was Medrano on the tackle. Again, just they're going to this wildcat look with backup quarterback number 4, Cade Wyant. Again, just running some quarterback power. Just really running it right down Eastern Oregon's throats right now.
Yeah, and Wyant, a strong runner. He has 3 carries already for 50 yards in this game.
So 1st and goal right at the 10-yard line here. Here's the snap, same play, a little quarterback sweep. He cuts back, gets inside the 5, and is tackled down at the 4. Ball might be loose. There's the whistle. No signal yet from the referees. So he'll be down, nothing going there, but as you see the stop on the replay, ball was out for sure, and a little bit of a fight for it. Montana Tech might have been able to haul that back in. Getting a huge shout out to Gib Pollard for his incredible work on today's broadcast, all the replays, the camera angles, all the action on the Mounties Sports Network, brought to you by the man, the myth, the legend, Gib Pollard on the back end of the stream, our producer here today. Wyant takes the snap, a little play action on the jet sweep, goes back to the right, and it looks like he's going to come up just short of the goal line.
Wyant on the keeper. Jonas Waugh on the stop.
Going to the replay, see him going out wide, and the Mounties doing a good job of stringing it out. Jonas Waugh, first man there, and then Jason Grant on the tail end to put the exclamation point on the stop. Under 8.5 minutes now to go in the fourth quarter. 3rd and goal. Montana Tech still trying to hammer one into the end zone here.
Yeah, and the Ore Diggers have seemed content just giving the ball to Wyant, letting him try and pick up yardage on his feet. It'll be interesting to see if they do it again here. Looks like it.
There it is. Sweep out to the edge, gets in, and there's a flag. That's going to be a face mask. I believe that was Peyton Howe came flying in, and you saw the extended arm and the head whip of Wyant. Look at this right here. Good replay. Coming off the edge. There it is. Arm goes out, catches the face mask, and right there, Gib Pollard stopping it so you can see it perfectly. Actually ripped the helmet off. Didn't realize that. So, yeah, you're probably going to pick up some laundry for that one.
Number 2 on the defense. After this is goal, 1st down.
And half the distance to the goal from the 3-yard line. Ball won't move too much, but that's a fresh set of downs. Good news for the Ore Diggers. This drive, we have seen a lot of Cade Wyant as they've nearly exclusively went to that Wildcat look, James.
Yeah, I was going to say, just taking a look at the play-by-play, it's Cade Wyant, Cade Wyant, Cade Wyant.
I wonder what their game plan is. Thelen back now. There's the give to Smith, and he's going to slide into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Ore Diggers. Make it 44-14. PAT pending, could be 45. Marching out onto the field, Dylan Root. We've seen him be particularly effective today. Haven't seen him miss a PAT. Knock down a field goal to get things started here for the first score of this game.
Injury timeout on the field.
And looks like we may have a man down. Can't quite see what's going on. Yeah, we do have an injury, so we will step away for just a moment and be right back on the Mountie Sports Network. So NAIA Medrano, the Mountie, down on the play. Looks like he's carrying that shoulder a little tenderly. Hopefully he's all right, running off under his own power. That's always a good sign. And after the injury timeout, we will resume play. Dylan Root attempting the PAT for the Ore Diggers. There's the kick. Splits the uprights once again. Root remains perfect. And that makes it 45-14. Here with 7 minutes and 37 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Montana Tech on top of Eastern Oregon. We'll be right back after another short break.
Thank you, everybody.
45-14. This game seemingly being put away on that last drive. Montana Tech has sucked the life out of this stadium here in Grande, Oregon. Blue skies, beautiful day, and it's been a good game, but Montana Tech has taken control in the second half. Eastern Oregon has had a lot of offensive success, some costly interceptions, and then Montana Tech, just doing what they do. That offense is relentless, keeps moving the ball, and we've seen why they are the number 12 team in the country here today. Eastern Oregon doing their best to contain that powerful offense and a very strong defense, but right now trailing by 31 points here in the fourth quarter, 7.5 minutes to go. Here's the kickoff coming off of the foot of Ryder Baranowski for Montana Tech. Back to return, Colton Kesey and Parker Robinson. Kesey going to take it. He's going to go to his right. He's got a little bit of space, finds the edge, gets upfield. Great block, Parker Robinson, and Kesey sprung. He is loose. Can he go all the way? He's running out of juice. We have a late penalty, and he is tackled at the 15-yard line. What a return. We do have some laundry down on the 35-yard line. This is Eastern Territory, so even if it comes back, I'm assuming it'll come back to the spot of the foul. Shouldn't hurt too much. Great return, and Parker Robinson, what a block. I think you go down to that, the lead man. This is your other kick returner, right? Nowadays in college football, you're seeing a lot of that two-returner split look down there. We go to the replay, brought to you by the Mountie Sports Network. Here's the kick, but Parker Robinson, what a block.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good return there, and just what Eastern Oregon needed, a little bit of momentum on that return.
As we go to the replay here, so you watch right here, gets to the edge, comes back in frame now. Watch number 1, Parker Robinson comes up, fits, and just delivers a blow. What a block. That's a textbook pancake, and you don't see that. And that's one thing, one of the hardest things to do, in my opinion, in special teams football, is to come across and make a perfect block like that, moving full speed, right? And now that's one of those things, like returner on his hip. But when you're moving full speed like that, full sprint, it is so hard to truly center somebody up and deliver a blow like that. An incredible block from Parker Robinson springs the big return, and here the Mounties are in the red zone here. 1st and 10 to start this drive after a great return. Kesey finally getting tracked down. Here's the throw across. That one to Camp, sticks his foot in the ground, gets upfield inside the 10. Walker Camp on the reception.
Also good to see Quincy Glasper out there again if you are a Mountaineers fan, having went down for an extended period of time on that last drive. coming in and delivering the throw. Good to see that he's okay.
Yeah, that was right at the end of the third quarter. He went down right on a sack and was down for an extended period of time. There's the fake toss, the pass over top, Sweet, touchdown! There it is again. We talked about it. Tanner Sweet, that's a big guy, moves well, can jump very well, lengthy. And, I asked about that in the first half. I was like, why are we not going to this guy in the red zone? Here it is. We've seen it twice now in the second half, Tanner Sweet. And I love the play design there. As the fake toss, and then defense comes up. He comes up, gives a little block look, fades behind, slips behind the defense, easy touchdown.
And the Mountaineers will go for 2.
The Mounties will go for 2 again here on this possession. Had success the last time, fitting it to Malachi Spurrie. He's alone on the right side again.
Little pistol train look in a split zone, running in and in for the 2-point conversion. I believe that was Reese Dixon getting in on the action, make it 22-45. The Mounties convert on the 2-point attempt. Just like that, there's a little more noise in this stadium. We'll see what can happen. 45-22, 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Montana Tech on top over the Mountaineers here in LeGrand. We'll be right back after a quick break on the Mountie Sports Network. 45-22, the Mountaineers providing a spark here late in the fourth quarter. 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go. The big return sprung by a big block by Parker Robinson. And again, that was Colton Kesey taking it all the way down inside the red zone. And the onside attempt, no good. That one hauled in by Torgerson. So Montana Tech will get it back. You might have had something cooking there if you could have got that onside attempt as the Mountaineers. But Montana Tech offense going to make its way back onto the field. But Kesey, big return, gets inside the red zone, and then, of course, a beautiful play call, little fake toss, slip behind, touchdown to Tanner Sweek, the big tight end for the Mountaineers, to cut into this lead a little bit here in the fourth quarter. Is it too little, too late? We'll see. 6 minutes, 49 seconds to go. As number 12, nationally ranked Montana Tech comes back out onto the field on offense. That big O-line has gotten a push all day. We'll see if they can continue doing it. And you see some extra size in here. Another tight bunch. Thelen taking the snap. Wyant. And the give to Vetter. Will pick up about 4 yards on the carry.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
As we are now under 6.5 minutes. Montana Tech very consciously being slow, getting up to the ball. Wyant in the game now, and this is different. This is not that Wildcat look we were getting earlier. Wyant playing more of a true quarterback look here. Might be their version of a Taysom Hill, it seems like, here for Montana Tech. Here's the give to Vetter around the edge. Nowhere to go. Great defensive stop from the Mountaineers. Looks like that was Cole Martin on the edge. Good stop. Martin, the 6'3", 200-pound sophomore out of North Powder, Oregon. Local guy making a big play here. And we've got a timeout. 6 minutes on the dot. We'll step away for just a moment and be right back with more fourth quarter action on the Mountie Sports Network. 45-22, 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. We have a little timeout. Crowd rocking here in Community Stadium. Big third down. The Mounties need this stop here. Showing a little bit of a pressure look. Two guys with their hands in the dirt. Reading the defense, Wyant takes the snap, drops back, looks to his left. He's going to scramble. He's got a lot of room coming up to make the play. Martin can't make it, and it's going to be a first down. Wyant dives ahead as he's met by Blaine Shaw.
Wyant's on the keeper. 1st and 10.
That'll be a first down. Saw everybody turn their backs towards the quarterback, and Wyant recognizing an opening. The line parted like the Red Sea there. He had plenty of room.
Yeah, and Wyant, we haven't seen much of him throughout this game till recently, but he is Montana Tech's leading rusher now with 68 yards, really coming in and making a difference right away, averaging 9.7 yards per carry.
There's the give to Vetter around the edge again, and what a play I believe that was Caden Beasley flying up there. Yes, it was. Sneaking under the O-lineman, coming around the edge and making the tackle. That's a tough play. Hats off Beasley. Flying in there. That's a big stop. 5 minutes now to go in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 11 for the Ore Diggers. And we talk about it. Mounties, 260 passing yards, 100 rushing yards. You look at the other side. And we talked about the balance. And early on in that first half, it was the play action killing, and they were racking up the yards in that, 238 passing yards on the game. And a lot of that came in the first half. And we're like, that. Keep an eye. The way this team runs the ball, it's going to come back around, and it has. They're now at 175 rushing yards here today. The turn, the give to Vetter. Cuts back to his left, sneaks in for a few more yards. It took about 4, maybe 5 on the carry as he gets to the 35-yard line.
Avalos on the stop.
So that'll force 3rd down, and we'll get another timeout. 4.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. 45 Montana Tech, 22 Eastern Oregon. Mounties trailing the Ore Diggers here in Community Stadium. Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap up here after another quick break on the Mounties Sports Network. 45-22. We got 3rd and long here. 3rd and about 7 here for Montana Tech. Wyant in at quarterback alongside Vetter. Montana Tech still showing that heavy set here. Tight looks. And a little jet sweep outside. He's got the wheels. He breaks into the secondary. Big gain and another first down for Montana Tech. That time it was Ethan Renner, the running back, lining up in a tight slot look and then coming around on the motion. Getting the toss on the jet. Look at the replay, and Jason Grant ended up to push him out of bounds. Jack Marshall was there and had a look, just could not take him down. We saw that early on in that play.
Yeah, and it looks like it will be counted as a forward pass from Wyant to Renner, so
yeah, you got to love that if you're a quarterback. Right?
Nice, it's the easy ones.
The little pitch forward counts as a pass, boosts the numbers a little bit. Another carry. Montana Tech going to pick up about 7 as they plow forward. Time continuing to tick down. 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Wyant coming up to the line. Barkins Mortars at the line. Steps back. I don't know if that's Vetter or Renner in at running back. Regardless, not going to get much there.
Renner, the ball
So that was Renner.
Lost of 2 on the play. 3rd and 4.
Third and 4 here for the Ore Diggers. Coming out again with that sniffer H look. Here's the motion. And there's the keeper. Wyant sticks his foot in the ground, gets vertical, and he's going to get the first down. And with that, you got to think that they should be close. I don't know exactly. They should be close. Got the 2-minute warning coming up here about to just run the clock down here. So that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 45-22, Montana Tech knocking on the door again here inside the 5-yard line of Eastern Oregon. 2 minutes to go on the Mountain Sports Network. We'll be right back. 2 minutes left in this game here in the fourth quarter. Montana Tech on the 5-yard line, maybe 4-yard line, going in. And it looks like they are going to enter victory formation. Should be able to kneel this one out. There it is. There's the kneel. Wyant takes a step back, kneels. And so that should wrap it up here today. I believe they can just run the clock out from here. If not, it's going to be awfully close. 45-22 should be your final score here this afternoon as the number 12 Ore Diggers remain undefeated. Coming into Community Stadium and taking home the win again. Montana Tech looking to kneel So we look at what's upcoming for these two teams. Eastern Oregon will hit the road for the next 2 weeks. They will go play Rocky Mountain College next week in Billings, Montana, followed by a road trip down to some warmer weather in Arizona Christian on October 5th. So they take on the Firestorm of ACU with a little night game action, 7 p.m. The Mounties return home for October 12th, which is homecoming. So all you Mountie Nation fans out there, put that on your calendars. The Mounties will take on Montana State Northern on October 12th for homecoming. And then looking on the other side of things, for the Ore Diggers, who will advance to 3-0 after their win today over Eastern Oregon, they got another big matchup next week as they take on number 10, College of Idaho. Again, the Frontier Conference, one of the best in NAIA football. After that, they will return home for their homecoming against Southern Oregon University. Those next two games for Montana Tech, again playing SOU on October 5th at home up in Montana. And with that last knee, that'll bring us to a close here in Community Stadium. Your final score, Eastern Oregon 45, Montana Tech 45, Eastern Oregon 22. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Dawson Forcella, joined by James Carlson. Huge shout out to Gib Pollard for his amazing work on today's broadcast. We hope to see you next time. If you're interested in some soccer, stick around on the Mountie Sports Network. That's coming up next. Tune in. But thanks again for tuning in. This is the Mountie Sports Network.